And then I said, you shouldn't put spaghetti there. It's inappropriate.
And unsanitary.
Yeah, and don't eat it afterwards.
Buonasera a tutti, good evening. Welcome to Fate's Grip.
Hey, Bonnie Sarah.
7, Groundwork. Yeah, Bonnie Sarah indeed. Indeed.
I'm a bit of a hairy bunny, so I got some cat.
You got some
cat.
You got some cat. Hey guys, I got some cat. What?
You'll buy some kitty.
Beautiful.
What is wrong with you?
The regular
Here's some
salesperson right there. Oh goodness, I did.
That is not
I did
hydration.
forget to
that is death in a can.
pour myself
Cheers.
a what you call welcome everyone. I'll pour myself a drink very shortly. But thank you for everyone for joining us. A water. And welcome to Fate's Grip. We are in our 7th episode, and we've got some shout outs to do. So I might kick it off with Sheldon, if you don't mind.
Easy.
Starting out, that would be lovely. With some ardent role plays.
Every week we highlight them because we love them so much. Ardent Roleplay, our wonderful Brisbane-based business, who have an amazing application, amazing platform which you can use to integrate augmented reality into your game. That's it.
Reality.
Yeah.
Games. Augmented.
Shut the fuck up and listen. They're very, very cool. They've got some very, very well illustrated artworks like Laneway, Keeper, and my favorite time, Hammer.
I hate that.
Yeah.
That's great.
We got time for my jokes. But if you want to jump in and subscribe, you also get a bit of a discount with the promotional code FATESGRIP. Very cool app. Very, very well made cards. Check them out. We love you, Ardent Roleplay.
We do love you.
Thank you. And thank you for that that link as well, MVC. Appreciate it. Did you want to
Stop.
did you want to go next, Emily?
Do you want me to?
Sure. Go.
Hey, Ben.
Hey.
You're wearing a nice shirt
Ben.
today.
I've got a nice shirt on.
You
Let
should
me-
show the people.
Just take it off.
Here we go. Yes.
Hey. Wow. It would be mighty good if I knew where to get that shirt from. And in fact, allow me to tell you, we have fucking merch now. Yay!
Yeah,
Go and check it
merch.
out. It's over on Fourth Wall. Oh God, there's been a compliment redeemed. Hey, you all have to compliment me. Go on.
You do really good shout outs and are a nice person 80% of the time.
Please.
You are a great dancer.
No,
You
that's a
don't break, You
lie.
don't break it out very often.
That's a lie.
No.
You know how to cook al dente pasta.
Thank you.
You know how to cook al dente pasta. That was your, okay. Okay, fair. Yes, for Luffy, we do have the merch. Thank you. Thanks very much to Emily for doing that. That is
Yeah.
fantastic.
Hey.
I was following
hey.
it up. Thank you so much, Emily, for organizing that. That's
So
fantastic.
yeah, we have regular merch and fucking merch. But yeah, Ben's modeling the Bony Sarah tee, which you can get on our store right now. There's also a Roll the Damage tee, which is just a big speech that MVCDM and Ash own. Thank you so much. They both wore it on the stream the other night. And we also have like a bumper sticker for Ado as my passenger patron. We got a cap, we got a tote bag, we got badges, we got so much stuff. There's heaps of stuff coming as well. It's a good time to be alive. So yeah, merch. Do it if you want, I guess. Hey, this Friday at 7... Fucking hell, Promethean. This Friday at 7 p.m. Is the next episode of Echoes of Divinity. Come hang out with me and a bunch of Mephits while we play some games. We'll see the aftermath of a very awkward betting situation that happened last session. And last but certainly not least, speaking of fucking hell, Promethean. Hey, Promethean's launched his new channel, The Law Rights. You can go check it out. We did it. We're going to do our next episode of Sword of the Skulls on there. It's going to be a good time. Yeah.
Fucking fuck yeah.
Please support our friend and check that out.
Yeah. That's it. That's
Very
the
good.
end.
If you'd like
Also, shout out to Taylor Swift for announcing a new album. Thank you.
Nice. If you'd like to rewatch or re-listen to episodes from this campaign, you can go onto our YouTube channel, and also we have our Spotify and Apple podcasts of these last 6 episodes up as well.
Just in case you hate our faces.
Basically, yeah. So if you want to listen and not watch us, feel free to head over and check us out there. And also Last Old Games, because these are just too cool to pass and miss, made some amazing 3D scans of our faces and then modeled us and showcased us.
At like fucking PAX.
Yeah, PAX, which is just ridiculous.
And, yeah, a couple of other conventions.
Yeah. So we just love you so much and gave us these amazing figurines.
I hope my nose doesn't actually look like this.
And so they're amazing. They're really, really cool.
Come in a regular, also a Magnum XL size. I don't know if that's what they call it. But.
They do.
If you like me and Jordan, you can print your faces off and make them kiss.
Ooh.
Lovely.
I hate it.
Art imitating life.
Beautiful. Lovely.
That's hot.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Temperature.
Hot or
I
not?
thought about it.
Vote now. Good. Good.
He's not a forest
Just
fire.
sitting over there looking at us.
That's how you get.
Anyway, can we recap? I'm
We can
sick of this now,
absolutely
please.
recap now.
For the
Yep.
love of God.
No problem at all. So,
I mean, he won't save you, but,
No.
you know. Here we are.
all right.
Bah.
So let's recap,
That's the
everyone.
boring version.
Let's get into it. So, from last episode, you remember quietly sneaking into the warehouse in your search for Mori, the elf from Arenal.
Cheers.
Checking for traps and footprints,
Thank you, Bram.
finding guards dead and clawed open. The smell of perfume and rot, and the sight of Mori trapped among the dead, who were brought to undeath as they attacked and prevented you from fleeing, a coffin producing more and more of these undead creatures. Once the evil rune was diminished by Locke, you all made haste and rested and licked your wounds at Lila Jadu's home, before discovering Captain Jerrol's home had been visited and his captive daughter dead in his arms. You're in his sights now, as he speaks to you with contempt in his eyes. In the dim light, he slowly places down the figure underneath the sheet. You're in the hallway, or you are, he is in the hallway. And Kailani, you're behind him,
I believe I
I
was.
think I stepped down to the corridor.
You're in front of him.
In a cupboard.
Yeah,
You're
and
in a
I'm kind of
cupboard.
half out behind.
Yeah.
You're half
Cupboard
out
behind a
behind it.
door.
Lock.
I think it was behind the
You're
door.
behind the door,
The little wedge.
and you're with them as well, and he sees you as well. All together.
I don't want to talk to him really right now. Right just now is not a good time.
Hey, it's now a good time. Fucking hell.
I've come to check in on your daughter.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing, buddy?
Hey, this is all canon now, though. No.
Yeah, correct. That's what you're actually saying. So, as you look towards this silence that Captain Jerrol is exuding, he's put down his daughter on the ground. It's a hallway wide enough to place her gently, though it's about 5.5, 6 foot wide. So not enough for you to go past him, move past him. He blocks the hallway with his large figure. You can see he is red in his eyes, bloodshot, as though in shock. And he just stares at you for a moment before saying, "You said you wouldn't fail." You said nothing would happen to her. It took you.
And that's kind of Arnie forward and to kind of take half a step back.
It took you too long to get here. You look wounded. You ran into trouble.
As he's saying that, can I guess, confidently walk forward? I don't want to look intimidating when I'm going towards him.
Okay.
And that works. What do I want to say? The more you're brooding here, the less time I'm going to have to assess your daughter. And I'm going to her.
Okay. His body is over her. He kneels and he places himself between you and her quickly. And he crouches. And it's a crouch that is identified as a stance ready to leap if any threat were to come across him. And he slowly brings his hand up towards his shoulder where the pommel of his sword rests. He's not quite there, but he's ready. He, in a almost a growl, says, "What do you intend to do?"
How long have we been here for?
Mere minutes.
Minutes. Okay, so I must have that up. To save her.
She is dead.
Um,
Should you inspect her to see her not breathing, then be my guest. And he steps back behind her, and now her body lies, or what would be her body underneath this cloth. You haven't seen her. Lies between you and Captain Jerrol.
remove the cloth so I can see her.
Okay. As you take the sheet away, you spy a face. And you haven't taken the sheet off fully, but initially you see a beautiful, pale, angular face with similar shaped eyes and nose to her father, Captain Jerrol. And she has jet black, long hair that's still clean. She is unmoving. You can make a medicine check if you want, but if you want anything specific, let me know.
Yeah. I'd probably have to succeed on this, which I'm probably not going to. I'd still have arcane knowledge, so 11.
Okay. Giving her a once over look. Are you doing anything to reach out? Are you doing anything specifically with your hands?
I actually don't know if it would even work if this was a good roll. You touch a living creature that has 0 hit points. The creature becomes stable. The spell has no effect on undead or constructs.
I'm sorry, you're trying to use a spell.
Spare the dying, yeah.
Oh, sure. Apologies. Okay, sorry, I wasn't aware. So,
I think the key word is the living creature, so I need to know.
Of course.
If she's living or not, like short of last breaths or whatnot.
okay. As you use your magical effect and you pray for a moment, a warm glow passes over.
Call to Pelor to assist me.
Okay. A warmness does pass over your hands, and you feel the magic beginning to take effect. And then nothing. As the breath has left her some time ago, it seems. Her skin cold.
I got nothing else to do. Dow's gonna do anything, but I'll burn a slot for it. Cure wound roll too.
As you look down to find wounds, you don't. There are no cuts along her neck. There are no stabbing wounds along her stomach and torso or chest. You turn the body over. Captain Jerrol instinctively moves towards you, but then stops to see what you're doing, and you're doing things gently enough that he's not concerned, though you start to hear sobbing coming from his mouth. And as you turn the body over, there are no wounds on her back either. There's nothing that you can see to depict the cause of death. And then you noticed crimson on the back of Captain Jerrol. You remember the pile of blood in the room adjacent.
Yeah.
Your best guess, the blood came from him, not her, because there's nowhere that you can see that blood was shed on her body.
So if this isn't a wound, would I assume that she's been poisoned in some way?
With that was the medicine check you rolled.
Yeah.
Poison, as far as you are fairly confident knowing, the more common poisons would leave a mark. There would be a green tinge in the skin, or a veiny throat, or some of them cause the stomach to bulge out as though gaseous forms are that's all that's between skin and organ, forcing the organs to move and writhe. There's nothing specifically about this. If it is poison, which that's your best guess now, but there's nothing common about this. It must have been a very uncommon, rare poison to leave no mark at all.
Do you want to go first?
Oh, if I'm observing you with the body, can I also just roll a medicine check
For
to see if
sure.
I can spy what it was?
For sure.
13.
A 13, likewise.
I'll turn to Captain Jerrol. I'm sorry, but this is beyond me. The only thing I can think of to do something for your daughter is if we take her to a friend.
Who's your friend?
Morty. Maury.
What will this Maury do?
Hopefully save her.
She is past. She is dead. She is gone. Why do you force me to suffer, prolong my suffering?
That's a good question. Would you have her lay here as is? With all respects, I know what the answer would be.
I would.
But if you could do something with it, would you try it? I know not what your gods are, or what your religion is. If this is the best thing for her in this unfortunate state, then let it be that way, but...
If you can guarantee that she will live, I will take her wherever you wish.
There's no guarantees here. There's no guarantees we could come back from what we've just experienced in this town. There's a larger threat here.
In what manner?
And I'll pull out the book that I did the rough rune or glyph,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll show it to him. There's evil necromancy that's happening here at the moment.
He takes a look at that rune, and you can see that his blood drains from his face a little. In the dim light, he becomes pale. He shakes his head and blinks away from the rune, blinks elsewhere, almost forcing himself to have to. And he says, I don't know what that rune said, but it made me feel ill. What did it mean?
It is another form, I believe, that can bring back the dead, but not for good. So I suggest you sanctify her death now, or we see what Maury can do. Because you don't want your daughter coming back as what we just saw.
She is at risk of this? Very, very well. Take her to Maury. Tell me where these creatures were, and I will send my guard in full-fledged. I will also send word to Korth to tell the king about this. Where?
Do you trust these guards? Wasn't there an issue with that?
I don't know who to trust. But what else can I do?
I think for the meantime you should come with us, for your daughter's sake.
Someone must attend to the threat here. There are other people at risk.
I'm gonna look over at Lila.
Lila's not there. Sorry. Lila is tending to Maury, because Maury, as he headed out of this trap that he was in, he was quite weak.
Oh, good. I'll say to the guard then, perhaps Lila would be the best person to take charge. And she's with Maury, so once we take your daughter there, she can leave.
I'm also certain maybe House Drasko and House Deneth might be potentially better allies in this particular situation.
Bad allies?
Good allies.
Good.
There's quite a few of them that were turned. I'm sure they would like to know about what's happened to their fallen.
I'll just poke my head out from behind the door. Hey, why are you covered in blood?
He takes a step back in fright for a moment and puts his hand on the pommel before letting go. And he looks behind him and he said, just a shoulder wound. I couldn't wait any longer, and I heard a scream when you weren't here. So I leapt into my home, and there were a couple of figures standing over her. I chased them off, but not in time. They charged me, injured me, and then fled. I'm assuming more of these associates of what you came across, I would assume.
Did you see how they did the deed? How they killed her?
I'll put the cloth back over her face.
He takes a respectful nod at you and turns back towards you, Ivor, and says, they were leaning over her, I'm not sure. They didn't seem to have any weapons on their person until they attacked me. And then one of them seemed to brandish a dagger, which is why I got this wound.
Seems like an odd way to kill a little girl. Can I roll an Arcana check just to see if there's any magical effects on it?
Sure.
Nice. That is a 23.
A 23. Okay. Taking, as Locke is put the sheet over her, you just take another quick look at the rest of her body, and you have this recollection that you read that there are certainly magical poisons abound that could have caused this, leaving no trace of the cause of death for the purposes of fairly high-profile assassinations that have happened in the past, which only by magical means people have discerned to be assassinations and not one of, say, taking their own life. You realize that it wasn't the cause of death wasn't choking, because then you would be able to find some bruising or some pressure along the neck. The pale skin is not conducive of a known cause of death either. It only happened very recently, and so you're pretty aware that she should have still been fairly red of skin.
I'll convey that to my companions.
She healed 10 points.
She healed no points.
She didn't have points to heal.
No.
From observing this guy, is he acting like he actually has a wound on his shoulder? He's reaching for the pommel of his blade up there and whatnot.
You can make a perception check if you want to try and see, or an insight if you want to try and understand if he's lying. Up to you, which one.
Well, because it was described to be that there was a lot of blood.
Yeah.
If this dude's just walking around willy-nilly going to grab swords.
Was it insight or perception?
Which one would you prefer?
No, it was your preference.
Then I'll probably do perception, which
Sure.
is a 22.
Wow, okay. As you spy in the night, do you have dark vision?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. As you spy in the evening through this hallway at his shoulder, as he described, you indeed do see a wound. As he was leaning over her body, you saw it. So you're fairly sure that it was from him. It's underneath clothing, so all you see is matted blood that looks like it is congealing. So to your best understanding, there is a wound on his shoulder, yes. Yeah, just past the shoulder blade. He says, I still feel like I do feel like the city should awaken. No matter who I trust, everyone's life is in danger if these creatures are reliving. Not just the people who are, not just the actual city guard, but everyone should be alerted. It's not in anyone's best interest. And if you take my daughter back to Maury or this other companion, do what they can.
How should we contact you?
I'll be in the keep, directing from there.
And forgive me for asking, but if we can't do anything about it, where would you like me to bring your daughter?
Same place. We'll be able to inter her into a crypt.
We shouldn't tarry then.
Let's go.
Well, thank you.
Who's
Plus
strong?
check.
Not me.
Who's picking up a body?
Just hide back behind the door.
All right, I'll carry the body.
You can make a strength check if you are attempting to.
It's a 7 for an 8.
An 8 in total?
Yeah.
Okay. The best you
resist.
the best you can do without your companion's help is to drag her.
Oh, I'll probably help if I see him starting to drag her.
There's some stairs, right?
There are.
Do you start feet? Like, do you start with the shoulders at least when you start dragging, or are you going feet?
Oh, yeah, I'm close to her head.
Not an animal. 14 plus 16.
So 16 in total?
16 in total.
All right. Together.
No, it was a plus 16.
I thought so.
Plus 16 was my strength.
It's a 32.
Is the wizard the strongest one here?
Has
No.
Jerrol taken his leave? Or?
Yeah, Captain Jerrol has otherwise silently moved away from you and has gone the other way through potentially back stairs and out the door.
Should we ceremonially try and find a chest to chuck her in?
ceremonially.
Yeah, just so we're not carrying a dead body out in the middle of the street.
Yeah, good point. Looking around, is there anything?
Is there any big trunks or anything?
Thankfully, there is a trunk at the foot of the bed in the bedroom you are in at the moment. So it just contains. It does seem like her clothes. It's filled and folded, dresses and.
And there isn't any blood coming from there, right? If we can put her in there, I'll leave a couple of articles of clothing in there for her.
Mm-hmm.
In case she does wake up.
Can I take some of those articles of clothing we've taken out and throw them back over the top of it?
Yes.
What if
yes.
someone what if someone opens this crate while we're on
Pretty
our
heavy
way?
trunk full of clothes.
Yeah. That'd be an awkward thing to explain.
Yeah.
There's a handle on on both sides. So with that two-handed lift, you on this wooden chest. It's a bit heavier, a wooden box, a wooden crate, but you do tend to fairly evenly carry her down the stairs.
No worries, Rin and Kalani will go this.
With dignity.
Yeah.
Pivot.
I'll turn and are you going down the stairs first or am I?
Moving house, and this is an awkward shape thing that you got to get through the doorway.
It's like Weekend at Bernie's. You going down the stairs first? Because you're going to get all the weight.
You do seem to have a better time lifting her.
Yeah, all right.
Go backwards. You're not wearing
Yeah.
thongs, are you?
No, I'm not. I've
Okay,
got
good.
boots. All right, so I'm
All right.
going back down these stairs.
As you both together and in unison take her down the stairs, what are you both doing, Rin and Kalani?
Just following, pretty silently.
Okay. Rin?
Same. Maybe just try. Actually, I might have a quick squiz around the house because we know that there were people of these. I guess this group
Yep.
were in here with her
Mhm.
apparently. So, just do a quick whip around, see if there's anything that stands out
Sure.
investigation wise.
Yeah, investigate the house, sure. Even with that, the time it takes for the body to be let outside, it takes a couple of minutes. So with that time, you have time at the same moment to do a bit of a once over.
5.
A 5, okay. Everything else seems the one takeaway from this home is that it's apart from the bedrooms, the rest of the home, the rest of the rooms seem suspiciously empty. Where there should be a lounge room, there's an empty space. Where there should be a kitchenette, there's just a bench. All cooking utensils, all other forms of, all chairs, all tables, all furniture. There's no furniture apart from what's in the bedrooms specifically. What that entails, you're not sure, but it just is an oddity for the captain of the guard.
When we're halfway down the stairs and I see you going to start doing this, I'm just going to say, I'm just going to put the chest down. You're going to be really mad at me. I forgot I could do this. I'm just going to cast floating disc. Which is going to take me 10 minutes, but while you search the house, that should be okay. Yeah, straight up. It just carries stuff. That's all it does.
What's the weight?
The weight is 500 pounds, up to 500 pounds.
I think it's fine.
Yes. And it just follows me. It remains within 20 feet of me.
Very nice. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, man. I forgot. I haven't.
I mean, it's more impressive than I'm upset.
I don't use this much, like ever.
Hopefully, we don't have to cart around many dead bodies in the foreseeable future. Could you glide on it? Could you use this as a?
No, I can't stand on it. But you could stand on it, but then you'd have to be within 20 feet of me, so you can't just fly off on it. That's mainly why I don't use it much. Not a lot of lifting in my job.
As the magic is cast, you find yourselves outside. Did you want to do anything else about this investigation?
I guess noticing that it's odd that there's a lack of, I guess, livability to this place. The direction that Jerrol actually went. Can I have a look? follow where he went. See
Sure.
what's
As you make your way to the back of the house and you find the door and the stairs that lead outside, and down the stairs you travel, it goes to the back of the home, and you do see him you do see him dart around the corner. He does seem to be heading back in the direction of the keep, but you lose him as he moves around the corner towards that general direction. Are you wanting to follow him?
I might actually. I'll think to Kailani and Locke. Hey, this house is a little bit suspicious. Did you notice that there was no furniture where there should be? Like people don't actually live there.
If I can, I'll make a investigation check or perception check, and after he's mentioned that, I'll just have a bit of a look and see if there's any I know we're in Corvette. Do people have family photos?
Paintings would be the closest depiction.
Is that like common?
It is in more of the because painting commissioning is quite expensive.
Yeah.
A town like Vedykar may not have the funds, or there aren't any rich people or nobles in Vedykar. It's a small town, relatively speaking, but you can. To your best knowledge, I mean, anyone could be, and just not say. Have an investigation, make sure, and then see if there are any paintings around.
Yeah, I think maybe just the normal things people would have if they lived there.
Yeah.
I don't know, like maybe a plushie toy
Sure,
for her,
sure.
chess set. I don't know, some like
Yeah, okay.
things that they would use to pass the time.
Yep.
That is. Did you want inside? Sorry.
Investigation.
22.
Yeah, big. Okay. Looking around the rooms, you find that the bedrooms do have games, the card games mostly, furnishings that would relate to a normal lifestyle. Not a rich one. There's a fairly nice looking mirror. You can see the bed is fairly well made. It's not full of bed bugs. It's very much clean, very clean actually. And again, that's probably something that surprises you more than anything. Is it's a very, very clean home. For some reason, that puts you off a little. There's not a speck of dust anywhere. Nothing. It's as though someone has gone to it with a scrub and soap just before you had arrived. There's no perfume, no scent of soap in that area. No paintings, no other signs of wealth in this home either.
Is there any rugs on the floor?
There are rugs on the floor though. Yes.
If I lift the rug up, is it dustier underneath the rug than it is in the area around it?
If you want to do your own investigation,
That depends. You tell me what you're looking for. Otherwise, I wouldn't bother. If you're just looking around,
I'm just looking around at the
Nah,
moment.
don't worry about
I'm trying to figure out what I can do.
I think I would be more like at the front door.
Yep.
I think if anyone kind of looked close enough, I would probably look a little like shaken with the entire thing, like just seeing the body there.
Yep.
So probably wouldn't reply to you in your head. Wouldn't like, if you were nearby, I'd like send you a look or something, but I probably wouldn't speak back to you in your head. And I'd probably step outside the front door and just kind of observe what's happening.
Yeah, you can
around.
make your own perception check if you like.
That'll be a 19.
Yeah, okay. So you're following.
Yeah, I'll, I guess, say back to both of them. I think I'm going to follow him. I don't think it was a good idea telling him where Morty was.
Yeah, there is something unsettling about this now. I'm going to do two things. I'm going to use my cleric ability, Vedykar, to...
pray.
Yeah, basically. Harness Divine Power, which is going to give me a spell slot 1 back.
Yeah, okay. All right. How long does that take?
Just action.
It's a cleric
Fantastic.
of knowledge.
And then I'm going to burn that. I'm going to open up the chest. Is this discus floating? Is
Yeah.
it up high? Or is
No,
it
it's like 5 foot. You could easily.
just open
I
it
can
up.
I can lower it if you. If I see you going to open, I'll just lower it down a bit.
No, it's better for my back. It's
Yeah.
like a
nice
bench.
ergonomic height.
Yeah. Because it's ergonomic, would I have advantage on a... I'm going to pull the cloth over and I'm going to burn that arcane knowledge, and I'm going to cast Identify on the creature, which is the dead body.
Okay.
See if I can learn anything through that.
All right.
You learn what spell, if any, are currently affecting it.
Affecting it. Okay. Cool. I'll get back to you in a moment with the result.
Okay.
Because as you rolled a 19, you notice Captain Jerrol, who is passing by you on the side of his home, heading in the direction of the keep proper. You see the keep from your position. It's essentially directly in front of you, but on the other side of the town. You see him move away. As he does knock on certain doors, and he speaks to a couple of people before he continues on, which you see as well, Rin. Overhearing that conversation, you both come to understand that he's calling guards to rush to where the warehouses are, and to don full armor and be prepared for danger. And as you watch, you both see guards run out of their homes as though they were just shutting up for the night, but they are now in the service of Vedykar and Karnath, and they seem to be loyal to their duty. And you can see multiple guards now come out of their homes and with donned armor and start to head in that direction. Captain Jerrol disappears away from you, Kailani, and you rolled a 19. Wow, these dice are terrible. You also notice there are shadows that are in the torchlight that lines the street. Shadows that are cast over the snowy ground beneath your feet. All around this street, there are these shadows, but you count about 5 of them before you start to realize there's no one that follows them.
Okay.
And then they disappear into the ground.
Weird. Have I ever seen anything like that before?
Nope.
Weird.
As you continue to follow Captain Jerrol, you hide enough.
I'd be trying to stay hidden.
You don't need to roll a stealth check. He's not looking behind him. He's simply moving with pace, with purpose. And he eventually, as you follow him and continue, he ends up at the keep, and he is shouting orders for these guard in number that are guarding the keep, that are on night watch, to go straight to the warehouses and discern what danger and what's going on as he disappears within the keep.
Having been to the keep a couple of times now, is there anywhere... I know where his office is. Is there anywhere where I could potentially climb up? Does it have a window that I would have noticed from?
The only place you did notice is that on the outside of the wall. So the wall is not smooth. There are crevices. It's made of a rough stone, and one that you feel like the rock is jotted out enough that you could probably take purchase if you'd like to attempt an athletics check.
And would I still be within a mile of? Hey. 7.
Okay. It's not like you fall, but though the front of the keep has fairly good perches to climb, the side where the window would be, to Captain Jerrol's office, is actually fairly smooth. You can't quite see a way to climb up successfully. You get a couple of meters high, and then it is smooth from there. So you're successful, but you can't climb any higher to see through a window. though it gives you enough to see over rooftops, and other guards are knocking on other doors. And it just seems like the whole town is waking up in the night.
I guess I'd think back to them. I'm at the keep, but I can't get up high enough to see into his office. I might just hang out here for a bit, and it seems like all the guards are leaving this area.
We all hear them.
Just you two. Up until that 4 hours from the warehouse is up, so I'll let you.
Still a couple of hours to go. As you cast that spell, identify on Captain Jerrol's daughter. You blink for a moment while trying to understand what you just felt. The spell didn't cast. The spell fizzled out. You don't know why. You don't understand the direction from where your spell wasn't made. But you slip the last words and the spell is extinguished. The spell slot spent, and you don't know why. It's as though there was some sort of shield over the top of this body preventing magic. Almost like an encasement around the casket.
You still praying over there? What are you doing?
I think there might be a bit more going on here.
At this point, you both are about halfway between Captain Jerrol's house and Maury and Lila, as the floating disc slowly moves along.
Like what?
Well, I tried to cast a spell on the girl and it fizzled out.
I will.
It was a lower level spell, perhaps, and perhaps when we get out to the house, 'cause we're in the middle of the street, aren't we? At the moment, we might have to check our body for some runes.
Okay. Why would
Unless
they?
you're aware of something that might stop that.
No, I was just going to cast Mage Hand and see if it did anything. See if it could impact it. I guess I can try that while we walk. It's a cantrip, so I'll just use Mage Hand and I don't know, try and turn her head slightly with the hand.
Okay, as you cast the spell, her head turns.
It's freaking me out a little bit. Jeez.
Her head turns away from you. You can see that pale skin again, the neck exposed, and the rest of her body clothed. The magic took effect.
Now's not the time for that bit. I'm gonna let the magic go. That doesn't necessarily mean. What spell did you try and cast?
Well, two. One is a means to revitalize the body if she's on her deathbed.
Mm-hmm.
Spare the dying.
Yep.
And the other was cure wounds. Was a higher, more potent version.
Okay. And just then, that was what you were trying. You were trying to heal her just now.
Well, after what we just saw inside the house, after Rin's keen senses, it's a bit unusual that an identifier would just not work on her.
You know, when we were up there, I tried to cast a spell as well, but it didn't work. Well, I was trying to suss out whether there was something magically wrong with her, and I seemed like she was fine, but her body wasn't done. It wasn't post-mortem the way it should be so soon after death.
Do you think she's in some form of status?
Maybe. I mean, she's like a pale grey colour, but there's no wounds on her. Like, she's been drained of all her blood. She should look mostly alive this soon after death.
We're in the middle of the street, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
Which is a quiet conversation.
Cut her a little bit. See what happens.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking is probably the next rational
Just a little
step.
prick on the finger.
No, I think that's probably the next rational step as well, but maybe you're right, not here.
You still just continue to move.
My ally can hear the understanding in my eyes.
As you
guess we'll continue on
Okay.
so we get to Maury's.
As you continue to move and you are perched high, just to bring that in for a moment, everyone, we're going to take a quick 2-minute break. I'll just roll to our be right back rolling video just for a couple of minutes, and we'll be back very shortly as we are continuing. See you soon. We're going to take the quickest 10-minute break.
Oh!
No! Roll the damage! I've waited this long!
So I'm rolling the damage and not budging at all, so let's see what happens.
Oh!
Wrong one, another round?
Oh, jeez. They're calling for a cliffhanger.
Well, he'll roll it. And then
Oh my god, stop rolling!
Oh, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see how much damage Amara gets after we come back from a 10-minute break.
I hate this game.
We'll see everybody in 10 minutes.
And I rolled a 25 for stealth check.
25.
Okay.
Oh, that's a bad laugh.
That's bad.
It's a bad laugh. It's a wheeze.
Is that a
That's
nat
an
20?
evil wheeze.
18 for me.
Is that a nat 20?
So you all start walking
18.
down. I'm just
Yeah,
gonna,
hold on a second.
just gonna leave my hands like this for a moment.
Stop flexing your muscles.
The teamwork is happy. Oh, bad.
As Amara starts to race towards Rook, you have just been handed the potion. And you saw Amara then just disappear. As you turned to attempt to uncork it and hand it to Osei, the battle's over. And with that swift motion, you look down, and the twitching has stopped. And in front of you, smoke coming out of the body of Osei, now still.
Do I see this?
Yeah.
Thorum! Thorum, help her!
I'm gonna walk on over and look down at her. How's she look? Is there any sign of life?
Make a medicine check.
How's she look? Dead.
That's a nat 1.
After the last question he asked, I pull into the rucksack from the back and present a cup. And I say to it, "This is King Boronel's personal possession."
After 53 sessions! Michaela looks like he's gonna cry.
You may if you want.
Sorry, continue.
For anyone who doesn't know, it's taken 53 sessions for Ben to know how to say King Boronel. That is going on TikTok later.
I was clapping because you had components ready.
I'd be just trying to keep next to Rook, trying to grab his hand and
Mm-hmm.
just, hey.
Dench, I thought you were Osei.
I'll say something to you.
What is it?
Come here.
What happened?
You look really good right now.
You think? No one's ever really taken notice of it. Now's not the time, I think.
There's always a time for love.
Welcome back.
You're making shit.
By far the weirdest way to start a stream. We should have called this ASMR cheese eating.
As you look upon this beast, wind buffer, the red scales blind every haze. The dragon attacks all around you. Birds fly away.
7, 13, 6, 1.
Make your attack.
Oh yeah, he fucked up.
Charlie listens to Rook and says, look, this is getting a bit corny.
Oh, dance again, quick!
It's Aaron Cochran. That's
I'm gonna transform.
Puts the lotion on its skin.
It puts. Oh, we're lotioning.
Oh no! This is very uncomfortable. I'm glad I did.
Shake off the excess.
Shake it all off.
That was wonderful.
Very
I
nice
have
stuff.
nightmares tonight.
I'm not good with words. But I think when I think back to everything that I've done since like day one with these motherfuckers, like you were there always. And you were like the only one that actually listened to me for a really long time. So, duh. Of course I got like all feelsy and stuff. And then Dench came along. God. I was so jealous. So fucking jealous. I don't think it's fair to tell you how I feel if I don't get to stay.
Thank you, everybody, for your patience and welcome back. Emily just had to step away. Let us continue, however, as Kailani continues on with you, though throughout the rest of this journey, she will just be a little quiet, a little silent in her stead, seeing...
Squirts is going around. Locks at it, eyeballs at it.
Pass it on, yeah.
Seeing the form of Captain Jerrol's daughter is your best understanding as to why she might not be in her, and it might not be as, I guess, outspoken. So, as we continue, you are hanging off the wall of the keep, and while you're there, I'll get you to make a stealth check to try and make yourself unseen on that wall in that time while you're waiting.
That's cocky McCock.
That literally is like for a
Do it again.
for a D20, it's about as cocked as it can
That's
get. It's
okay.
between two folds
Do
of
it.
the
Do it again.
tablecloth. Oh, now it's in that one. So
Nice.
Excellent. Okay.
Fall to your death.
15 feet high, and you are scrambling. Your feet have just not found purchase anymore. They slip, and so you are scratching at the wall with your clawed feet to try and get some purchase. And you do, though rocks do fall onto the ground, and then do make a thudding sound as you're trying to keep yourself upright. Though the three of you, Kailani included, with this form, continues on your way to Maury's home. Oh, sorry. Lila's home. Is there anything between then and the arrival that you'd like to do?
I think I've done everything I want.
If I've been observing and nothing much has been happening there at the keep,
All but Captain Jerrol, in terms of the guards in the town, are probably around the warehouse now, or at least in that district. You've never seen so many guards, especially even during the day, because they all take shift work. Whereas this looks like a full muster of the town. So you, the only person not present or hasn't left the keep yet is Captain Jerrol.
I think into Locke's head. Hey, what's going on over there with you?
We're still currently on our way to our 12th friend.
Maury and Lila.
Lila.
I don't know if I trust this guy. I don't think it's a good idea to bring his daughter to Maury. Because he was kind of suspicious about the actually looking for the elf. As in the notes that we found. His house was very sus, and now it seems like every single guard is leaving the keep.
There's something suspicious about his daughter as well. Or perhaps a death.
Who are you talking to? Oh.
I'm thinking in my mind, man.
Why are you looking at me like that?
That's how I concentrate. But what if we're wrong?
I mean, that's all well and good, but for a man who...
And then his daughter dies for no sake, and...
But he was certain she's already dead, but he seemed pretty easy to convince to leave her. If I was grieving over a family member, I wouldn't just run off and start barking orders at the guards like that. Plus, he seems all gung-ho about doing something now, but when we last spoke to him, he was very anti-dealing with it and assisting these people.
Well, his daughter's just died. So maybe he does feel a bit differently about what should need to be done. If we could shed a little bit more light on the body of his daughter, then perhaps we could galvanize whether or not he's actually betrayed the city.
I just don't think it's a good idea advertising where Maury is at the moment.
Well, we actually never told him where they were.
Well, you did mention that he was with Lila.
Does he know where Lila is?
Well, I mean, they had interacted before. She's a prominent figure.
You gotta look at me while you talk to me? The whole time?
My eyes go like deep black.
Yeah.
That make you feel better?
Kind of.
I don't have any pupils.
Yeah. Can't be looking at me with no pupils. What did he find?
He doesn't trust them.
Solid.
I'm gonna think back at why don't you trust him?
I mean, look at that house. If you lived there with your daughter, you'd think that the place would be more furnished. For if the people who were there apparently killed her and left no wound, no trace. Also, did you check her nostrils? Because that's how all those other guards died.
I was thinking, I thought it was the eye thing.
But for him to have a dagger wound, but they kill everyone else with a needle in the brain. No furniture. Notes found on brigands that tied him to the Lady of Lips, whoever that is.
Oh, the chest is still at waist height, eh?
Still waist height, still following you.
Maybe, like,
Following.
How many people are there on the street?
Did you cut her at all? That would be what I'd do next, is just to check.
Yes, it's still waist height and it's still traveling along with Ivor.
I'll open the chest quickly. I just hold the disc.
You stopping?
I lower it.
And there's no one in the street. Only the guards had initially appeared, and now they're gone.
So keep an eye out for anybody,
Okay.
just in case. And oh, actually, what's your? Well, I can't really answer that. I'll check. I guess.
What do you need help with?
Do you remember those cuts in the nostrils? Those needle-like things
Yes.
happened in the. We want to check.
Sure. Yeah, let me have a look. What we got here for that one?
Investigation for.
Can I? If I feel confident there's no one in the street, can I give them the help action?
Yeah, absolutely. Take advantage. Yep.
Yeah.
Because you've both seen it before, so you can point in the right direction.
A 14.
Okay. Looking at her nose and trying to compare it to the other deaths of the guards that had those wounds through the nostril into the brain, you do notice what appears to be dried blood within the nose, within one of the nostrils. And it just seems to just line the inside, though it's a bit too obscured to be able to follow it. It looks like one of the nostrils is a little caked with blood, yes.
Stick my little finger in there.
Yeah.
And just see how far up I get. Am I following nostril, classic nostril, or am I forging my own way?
You're following the natural passage through.
There's no.
But as you take the finger out, you notice that it's bloodied heavily.
There's nothing up there.
No, just gold. No, I think she's been killed in the same. I don't know. I don't see any indents. There's no it's just the natural nasal cavity. There's a lot of blood, but if someone punched her in the face, that would do the same thing. Someone punched her in the nose at some point. Healing someone doesn't get rid of all the dried blood.
Maybe this is Captain Jerrol's daughter, but this Captain Jerrol wasn't the person we spoke to in the house.
Potentially.
What did you find? Did you look in her nose?
We checked her nose. It is indeed. She's been probably murdered by.
We'd have to do the same thing. I should have done this to the other guys.
I don't know. The only thing I can think of is that this is, in fact, Captain Jerrol's daughter. But is that Captain Jerrol that you're following?
Well, he did have a wound on his shoulder. Check her hands, see if she's got any dry blood with no injury.
I'll do another quick look around, see if anybody's popped up.
Yeah, make a perception check while you are looking out.
Man, these rolls. 9. No, that isn't 9. So 12.
A 12 with perception. Okay. As you look around, you find yourself alone in this street, and you have stopped. So you have a familiar awareness of the street again as you cock your head back and forth. There's no one that seems to be looking in your direction or spying on you. No.
After what my friend said about Rin reckons, why don't we check for some defensive wounds or anything like that?
Okay. We'll do that. Yeah.
All right. Did you want to make a new check or do you want to keep your 14?
Can I use medicine?
Yes. Sure.
Yeah. I'll make a new check.
Can I? Oh, what do you want? Do you want the help back? Can I give him the help action?
Depends on what you want to do.
I can give you guidance, or I can help you.
I'm gonna check for defensive wounds using my medical knowledge. That's what I'm gonna do.
You choose.
I might do that as well because I've still got proficiency in that.
Yeah.
You can either do two or one roll with advantage or two separate rolls. Up to you.
You roll as well. Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay.
And can I cantrip myself with guidance?
Yeah. I mean that's a cantrip, so go for it. What'd you get, Locke?
So
And-
18, 21, double that for 6,
15.
A 15, okay.
27.
27, okay. Right.
That's awesome. How are you rolling a 27 with anything?
I roll an 18 and then guidance 3 and borrowed knowledge. I've got medicine on at the moment.
Yeah, borrowed knowledge is very, very good.
Yeah.
I rolled 1 dice.
Perfect. More impressive to get to 15 with 1 dice.
Beats the average.
That's very true. As you, Ivor, look through, around the body to find any wounds or any maybe another person's blood or skin, you find nothing. For a person who is deceased, to find nothing is highly unusual in your arcane knowledge.
Can I check as well if you're with the same roll, just for bruising?
Same
Back,
thing.
Same thing?
Same thing.
I don't have any bruises from when she hit the ground.
As you look through and around her body, you notice that she does have what looks to be scars, or these are old wounds, but wounds around her, just barely visible around her hands and feet. They look like scars, as though she'd been walking on sharp rocks.
Oh, okay, so they're not like rope.
No, they're not rope. They look more like she'd been walking on glass, shards of glass, and she had done this a few years ago. Her hands, the palms of her hands specifically, the same.
Would that mean she's been crawling on glass?
You'd assume so. Yeah. Now that with that thought, you check the front of her legs and her knees.
Yeah.
Very pale, very through her pale skin, very tiny signs of scars there too.
I don't know what I'm going to do with that. And they look like scars.
Yeah.
Why crawling around on glass, bro?
Like a noir detective thing.
Yeah.
Talking to them.
Which I mean, I would assume that this has happened a long time ago. And is there a possibility that the reason why that might look like scars is because it's here someone's magically?
Hard to tell. Because they're such old wounds, it's difficult to tell how they might have happened. Certainly a magical attack could have caused this. It kind of might look like wounds that have come about when someone is set alight, or electrocuted. You know, those lines.
Bro, she didn't have it very good.
Yeah.
Nice.
It could be it could be that, or it could have just been an accident whereby she might have fallen through a window or something like that. That could be conceivably a childhood wound, that sort of thing.
That really doesn't tell me too much then. I mean,
Well, close the lid on that.
yeah, cover up the body again. I mean, if this is in fact Gerald's daughter, and that isn't Gerald, then we should probably still take her to Maury to see what we can have done for her.
Well, I mean, didn't we just have a whole bunch of dead bodies while he was there come to life?
Who, Maury?
You,
Captain Jerrol.
you do you, but I don't know if that body going to him is a good idea. But it's even more sus, so I'm going to go in. I made a shitload of noise before slipping around, and no one even came out, so I might just walk in the front door and see what's going on.
I'll relay back to Ivor.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a couple of moments. He's concerned that maybe taking this body to Maury is not the best idea.
It's not my kid, so we got to see him anyway.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, worst case, let's decide when we get there. You make the call. Worst case, if you think we should, we'll just leave her in the chest. What's in the chest? Nothing.
With all that investigation and stuff, there's nothing like runes or anything on it that would stop the magic from being cast that I would have noticed.
You didn't notice any runes. No.
With that roll, she is quite in fact dead. Okay.
You rolled high enough to know.
Yeah. Let's take her in.
Not breathing. All signs of death. Yeah.
I got a spell that can make it seem like you're dead. I haven't got it prepped, but
Yeah, I think I've read that in Maurice's book, Feigned Death or something.
Both of you are aware of
full-time job.
You just say that to yourself, unbeknownst.
Yeah, I should have said that in character.
just scaling across the wall.
You both are aware, because of your arcane knowledge and reading, that there are powerful spells that make you seem like you are dead when you are not. The purpose of the spells are fairly nefarious, but they do need to be cast by someone of fairly high power, and you have the arcana knowledge to know that these spells are not cast by good people.
Fairly high power.
Before we take it to the house, just make a little stop. Rin's going to be a couple of moments anyway. I might want to try something.
Okay.
Cutting her.
Yeah, I was going to say, is it cutting her? Because
You can cut her if you want.
No.
You already put your finger in her
nose, yeah.
Please be specific.
Yeah, I want to make sure. I don't know. I just feel like her dad will probably ask about it.
Well, if her dad's actually alive somewhere else, then surely you'd like to know we did everything to save her.
Yeah, what if he's not somewhere else? What if he's just that guy and pissed off?
That's a possibility as well.
I would just say we dropped the crate on the way. Accident.
When you're okay with us to make a pit stop.
Sure.
I don't want to take it into the house just in case.
Okay, so you're not going to go straight into Maury and Lila's yet?
What I'm going to do is, it does take a minute for what I'm going to do.
Okay, are you going to go into an alley to do this? Are you going to go into a home? Are you...
Back alley, bone tossing?
While you figure that out,
I'll watch the entrance to this alleyway while you do whatever you're doing now.
As you prepare your spell, Rin, what are you doing as you found purchase again, but not before making a bit of noise with the rocks?
Look, yeah, if I've made all that noise and no one came out, like being a keep with guards, I might just jump down into, I'm assuming, the courtyard area and just not kick the doors open and blazily walk in, but like kind of just open the door, and if no one's around, try to find, I guess, the office of Jerrol.
Okay, as you shimmy down the wall.
Also, if he had a stab wound on him, is there a blood trail?
As you now you don't recall there being a blood trail in his home, though almost relievingly you do see blood drops on the ground just beyond the keep door. The keep door is slightly ajar, and as you walk in, oddly enough, there are no torches lit, though you do smell the after effects of fire, as though they were lit a little while ago. It is pitch black here in this room, in this foyer, apart from the look of from the moonlight, which, looking up, you now see the cloud cover is thin, though it's still hazardously cold. It's dangerously cold, and all of you feel this as your cloaks pull tighter around you, and you move into the keep in pitch darkness. You don't hear anything initially, though if you want to, you do remember fairly well the stairs leading up to the offices and then into Captain Jerrol's office proper, if you'd like to try and sneak up there.
You did say there was blood.
You do see blood on the ground, droplets, yes.
I guess one, if it's a trail, I would probably follow that. Could I kind of dab, give it a smell? Does it smell tainted? I mean, I guess given, not that I think it's specifically tied to the Eldin Reaches, but just, is there anything tainted, corrupt? Does it smell like iron?
You can make a either an Arcana or a Medicine check as you try and ascertain the properties.
For medicine.
As you take a sniff, there's nothing untoward about the smell. It is as you expected, that sharp smell of iron. It's particularly strong, but it is certainly blood. But there's no other signs of poison or adverse chemicals that you would not otherwise know to be in blood.
Look, I guess I would just attempt to follow the trail wherever it leads and keep an ear and eye out for just anything, any movement, like other guards or whatever.
Are you doing so quietly, or are you...
yeah, picture this as in sneaking around a house.
Stealth check.
Sean. There you go. The stuff that I don't need a particularly high roll with. That's a 28.
A 28. Okay. As you sneak in this keep, you make your way and follow the trail as though you would be heading directly towards Captain Jerrol's home, up a set of stairs, along a balcony, and then into the same 10 or so offices, 5 on either side, that you remember being in as you rummaged through looking for books and other bits of information. These desks are neatly stacked as though at the end of an office day, one would clean their workstation, and you see pieces of paper, inkwells, quills, all lined neatly. The blood trail follows the main thoroughfare through these offices into Captain Jerrol's room, though as you turn the corner from where you are at the moment and looking in, Captain Jerrol's door is wide open and he sits almost directly in front of you. He sits at the other end of this hallway. At his he's actually sitting on his desk, facing you, so closest to you, and he seems to be using some sort of cloth to dab at the same spot you notice the wound. And even in this dim light, you can see the moon is shining in from the outside. You can see he's every now and again taking this cloth off his back, and you can see that there is still blood that's forming in the wound, and he sort of puts it back on and puts a bit of pressure on it. You can hear a little bit of sobbing coming from him as well, as he's trying to tend to his wound and also appears upset. But there's no one else in this place.
I guess if I get the impression that he hasn't noticed me or anything, I'd just try to stay hidden, maybe observing for a little while. Relay, I guess, to Locke. Yeah, I'd I don't know, I found him in his office. Seems to be acting normal, but I don't know, there's too many sus things around this guy.
Imagine being sus on someone who's just lost their daughter. And the emotional wreckage they're probably going through.
Are you saying that in your head towards Rin?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
I don't know, maybe I'm just mistrusting because of those ball bag people.
Potentially, but look, there is still something suspicious about this body, so that I can concur.
I whisper down the alley, what are you doing back there?
So yeah, while that time was taken, I'm going to make a prayer to Ado.
Who's that?
God of outcomes. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And I'm going to cast a ritual spell of augury. And I'm still getting used to the spell. basically, so I pick out some bones, lizard bones, because I don't have dragon bones.
Mm-hmm.
Got the no frills. And I arrange them sort of similar as I did before. And I put my hands over the top. And I call towards him to tell us whether or not, if it will cause us woe, if we take the girl to Mori, or we'll get a good result.
Okay. As you place the bones on the ground, go on.
Yeah, I'll place them over the top of the little bloody trunk. Yeah.
All right.
Invoke the spirit of the girl. Do you want to be saved, young lady? Ado is here.
Okay.
It was either this or cut you.
Which we're probably still going to do.
All right. As you place the lizard bones neatly on the top of this chest, and you take 10 minutes because that is the ritual
yeah.
spell.
So I was planning on doing that while he's
Sure. Yes, that's happening at the same time.
Yeah.
It took about the same time to get to that same point. As you finish hearing Rin's voice in your mind, you cast the spell. The spell is cast. And you watch as the lizard bones shift and rattle a little, sending a small amount of noise down and up the alleyway, bone on wood, as you see the shaking of these bones form a hexagon. And through the hexagon, this six-sided shape, rough. You also notice this purplish, oh my god, hello Breen, raiding with a party of 21 people. Hi everyone, welcome, thank you so much for the raid, hello Breen. This is very, very special. Thank you so much. You catch us at a D&D, oh my gosh. No, that's okay, hello Breen. You are more than welcome to interrupt. We are Fate Script. We stream live every Tuesday, 6:45 p.m. AEST. Stick around if you'd like to hear some D&D. Unfortunately, you all can't, this evening at least, don't have the pleasure of meeting Emily Kailani as well, but please stay and come back next week and you'll absolutely meet her as well. But yes, settle in, and we are almost halfway through our session as we...
Seeing the results of a DM making me mistrusting of every NPC over 2 campaigns.
Correct. What's the mistrust? Oh my gosh, Emily Grace is in the chat, and you were even lurking the stream as well. Fantastic. Yes, definitely shout them out. Thank you very much, hello Breen. So, as the lizard bones rattle, as your spell of augury is successfully cast, the shape of a hexagon forms along this this casket, and through the shape, a purplish haze appears atop it, and like smoke billows out. The lizard bones break, and it is a sign of woe. As this acidic smell takes your nostrils, and you have to turn away in disgust, as it's like acid was poured onto flesh. It's disgusting.
We're not taking the body to the house.
Well, I'm glad that you reached that decision after playing some knucklebones on top of it.
You don't smell that?
I'm assuming this is a shit-filled alley. Yeah, I smell that.
It's not. I mean, look, the house was clean. Outside is not. You do notice the distinct smell of decrepit, old clothing, rotten meats out of this alley. Absolutely.
Smells like the city.
No, there's something off about this. I've spoken to Ado, and he said that there's something off about this.
Who the fuck's that?
I'll talk to him about him one day.
Okay.
I'm sure you'll find him very interesting.
I doubt it. All right, so what are we doing with her?
That's a great shout. How far away can you get this disc?
20 feet?
That's not very far away from us.
Just tell him it's full of, I don't know. What's something you wouldn't open and look in? Like if I told you I had a crate full of something, what would I tell you that you wouldn't open it up and look at it? Lumber.
Why would you carry wood in a crate?
I know. Because it's convenient. It packs it together. The crate's full of lumber.
Are we near a river?
A river is quite a ways outside of the town, but you certainly can travel there if you want.
Are you asking me about the river? Because...
Well, I mean...
What, we just throw her in the river? What?
Can't quite leave her here.
So we throw her in the river?
Well, yeah. That's what I was thinking.
You're really nowhere near a river. The closest river is a few weeks away, and it's on the border of New Sire, southwest.
Let's just take this somewhere else, just a little bit further away. And then go rendezvous with Rin.
Alright, fine. I mean,
as it is, that this is pretty inconspicuous, so maybe we just keep going towards the fort with it.
yeah, I mean, let's just go and see them with this chest. If they ask what's in it...
You're a powerful mage that carries all your goods in it.
Lumber. It's just got wood in it.
Alright, your decision. Let's go. And
So where are you going?
I guess we're going towards the fort.
The keep.
Yeah, the keep.
Oh, so where Rin is.
Yeah.
Okay,
Wait,
sure.
aren't we going to see...
We don't want to take this. So...
Yeah, but I'm suggesting we go and see them, but then just don't tell him there's a good old corpse lying in there.
Alright. Can we just leave it in this... how far away from the house?
Yeah, we should just leave this chest in the alley. No one will look at it and suss it out at all. And the guard will be super... The guard captain...
Particularly if it's full of lumber.
Yeah, the guard captain will be super pleased when someone hands him this chest that they found. With his dead daughter in it.
Still dead daughter.
Yeah. Still dead, yes. We'll just lie. He's a very respectful fellow. If we tell him not to bother about what's in the crate, he won't.
He might realise that's actually his crate. No, we took it from his house.
No, I mean Maury. He won't know. And if we tell him it's nothing interesting, he'll believe us.
Yeah, I just don't want to take it into the house.
For fear of the house's magic resurrecting a corpse?
That or potentially this is being tracked.
Oh, the crate itself.
The girl.
Ah.
Remember, there's some magic on her as well.
You wouldn't happen to have... a long time ago in my travels, I saw a cleric once move roughly 5 feet of dirt. Very efficiently. It wouldn't be something you can do, is it?
What spell?
I don't know. I think you called it move earth or some shit like that.
Nah, I'm not that high level, bro.
Wow. Well, we'll have to cast move earth with a shovel or some shit.
You don't have a spell to cover this up?
I look at the floating chest. No, I only had one really useful spell. Anyway, fine. We'll just leave it in an alley next to the house.
I prefer not to bring it anywhere near the house.
Is there like...
We are in an alleyway still, right?
You really are, yeah.
People come down alleyways.
I look down like this alleyway? Is this like just where people leave their trash and shit?
Make a perception check.
10.
And you have dark vision as well, don't you?
I do, yeah.
That's fine. With your understanding, this alleyway is one alleyway that's fairly close to a main road. Admittedly, looking at the snow, there's nothing that you can see because it's still fresh snow that you'd understand that people traverse this. Perhaps if you did move the snow a little, you might be able to see if there were still tracks of people that go back and forth. but without moving the snow, you wouldn't know. But you have a fair guess that people do go through this alley. Where you see back and forth, there are maybe a couple of shops, maybe small. They look small. They look like just simple fruit shops. But you do see that there are still shops in this alleyway, closed for the night. But that would give you a good idea that someone might absolutely come across this and think it's strange.
There's no like dumpsters or trash.
Oh, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Good quest. Good guys. Couple of good guys right here.
There are large bins, yes. There are large communal-looking bins, half filled, mostly filled with sacks of dirt and sacks of rubbish, and that what gives off the biggest stink in this alleyway.
All right, move some of the sacks, and we'll just leave. We'll cover the chest with sacks of garbage, and then when we come back and we can tell the guard he has to come on a quest with us to the landfill.
We'll just come back and grab it.
Yeah, quest to the landfill.
All right, make a mental note where it is.
Oh.
Okay.
Quest to go and rifle through trash at the dump.
You've got a floaty disc. You don't even need to pick it up. Just cast it on there and carry it.
Yep, sure. Anyway, I leave the chest there. And I'll kind of position it so it's covered entirely with rubbish.
Okay.
Sweet, let's go.
Right. As you are fairly confident that no one would take a second look, as you cover the crate with the girl within, you leave it be, and you are heading towards Maury or the keep.
Well, yeah, you want to go to Maurice, then, yeah?
Let's do it. Let's go get him.
Yeah.
Okay. And now
he's not in a good way. I don't know if you.
Well, you might be better off now. We left him with an archmage.
How long's it been since?
It's been about 20 to 30 minutes.
How long does it take you?
I told you that before we did this.
How long does it take you to heal people?
Well, I don't have any Cartline healing spells. A long time.
But when you do,
well, I'm pretty sure she's spent. If you remember the fight we were just in,
No, I
it was
don't.
quite severe.
No, I feel great.
I had to burn a lot of stuff too.
You're fine. They got health potions. Let's go.
All right. We'll head to Maury then, I guess.
All right.
Yeah.
As you both are swiftly guided through the alley, around into the main thoroughfare towards Lila, the magician's home. Rin, you are continuing to look towards Captain Jerrol, who has, since over the last 5 minutes, has gathered some bandages and is now starting to wrap underneath his underarm, around his shoulder, and he's just moving this long piece of cloth that seems to have a scent coming at you of a herbal and antiseptic that seems to be otherwise drenched within this cloth to help heal. You would assume a poultice, if you will, and he moves this over the wound. As he finishes and he ties it off, you see him turn, and his back is to you now, and he's taking a piece of parchment and an inkwell and a quill, and he's starting to scribble something. You can hear the scratchings of the quill on parchment on his desk. So he's leaning over the desk, his back is to you, the door is open. And you don't hear him crying anymore.
I guess I would still just be monitoring at this point.
Sure.
Specifically focusing on if he finishes writing on this parchment, where it is, if he leaves it on the desk, if he has it on his person. And I guess I'd think to Locke, what are you guys up to? This guy's just being all normal. It's pissing me off.
Well, I think we got it around the wrong way. If that's what you think, because there's something up with the body.
Yeah.
And
how did you find that out?
Well, I used some of my divinity to assess the situation, and it's not looking good if we take that back to Maury.
Oh, so you ask on if you're gods, and then suddenly it's all like, oh yeah, I understand now. But your good friend Rin has been telling you this for like 40 minutes, and you question me all the time.
That's exactly how it works.
Are you talking to him again?
And my eyes go black. I'm sorry, it's just weird if I'm talking out into no one. I just prefer to look at you, so I feel like I'm talking to somebody.
Do you? Because I feel like you're mad, like you're big dogging me. Sorry.
I'm sorry, I'll look away. I'll look at my feet.
They're a bit snow trodden, but otherwise fine.
So what did you do with it? You took it far away from the house?
Well, not terribly far. But it isn't near the house at the moment.
Well, hopefully you were respectful to it in case it is just like a normal corpse.
Well, I kind of hope I'm right. In this situation, anyway. I must admit, I was not too happy about it. I had to convince him to toss a whole bunch of garbage on top of it.
Well, I don't know. I'm going to keep watching this guy because he's writing something.
Well, when will you be satisfied that he's okay? And will you just come back to the house?
At that point, he puts the parchment and quill down, and he moves out of sight. He's no longer in the doorway. He moves over to the right-hand side. And you remember, as you went into the office, there are some bookshelves on the right-hand side, but that's about it. And you don't even hear his footsteps anymore. He seems to be still.
Well, hang on. If you don't hear from me, I might either be in jail or dead. But I'm going to try get this thing that he's writing.
Well, yeah. Maybe find out what else he knows, because between the two of them, there is something suspicious going on.
Thank you for the raid. Have a good night.
I guess
And if you're in danger, if I don't hear back from you in the next 10 minutes, do you want us to come to the keep?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll just scream in your head or something.
I mean, you could still do that.
I would continue to try and be stealthy.
Mm-hmm.
I guess start trying to peer around the corner to see if I can see him, if his back's turned, if he's...
Okay. As you sneak closer to this, to the doorway, you two have appeared in front of the door to Maury and Lila where they are. Go on, Rin.
Sorry, if I could just ask before I forget to.
Yes.
So the description leading up to this was that like, there were no sconces or anything lit.
Correct.
It was only moonlight. Did he light anything to be writing this thing?
No, he seemed to have just been trying to do it in the moonlight that's coming in through the window behind his desk, which is a large window, and it's bright enough to get something down.
He's human?
Yes. Yeah. He's looking quite closely towards this parchment. To your best understanding, and you have dark vision, so you don't know for sure, but from this distance, you could write something down.
Human has 20/20 vision.
Yeah, all right. Well, that's what I'd be doing, is trying to see if I can spot him without fully entering the room.
Sure.
And then, yeah.
Okay. Do you want to use the same stealth check or make a new one?
I'll keep the 28.
Cool. I think that's a good idea. Cool. All right. You hear some shuffling. It sounds like you sound like furniture might be scraping around the ground, wood on wood, and you creep closer as you hear that. You're both in front of Lila and Maury's where they are. The door's closed, though through one of the windows you can see that Lila really hasn't moved. You can see her still. She seems to have a damp cloth over the top of Maury, who is lying on the lounge through the right-hand window. And in there, in the main lounge room, you can see that he's still through the glass, it's a bit hard to see, but looking a little still worse for wear.
I'll knock on the door.
All right. You just hear Lila's voice. She says, after a pause, she says, "Come in," and the door swings open on its own. You can see that the shimmer of purple and green around the doorway dissipates. And as you enter, the door closes on its own accord, and the shimmering of defense through this material re-emerges.
That's right, she had a bunch of wards on.
She does have wards on the home, yes.
What would have happened if I walked through that? I asked her. What happens if I walk through that without you being aware?
There is a chance you would be held in place, and I would then be aware.
Okay, but it doesn't like melt me.
I am not malicious like that. No, I would come out and ask the reason why you would be intruding into my home without an invitation. But no, it would not burn you or melt you. That's a little barbaric.
Okay. Well, drink this. I'm going to pull out 2 potions of healing greater, which are all my... I have no more potions for healing, by the way. So it's
You have greater ones?
Yeah.
I've only got like 1 minor, I think. You're fucking holding that.
Yeah, we got them. Like, second session we got them.
I believe you.
Yeah. So...
5 whole
jealous.
weeks ago.
Yeah.
More.
Can you believe it? I completely forgot about it. Can you believe that?
Who are you handing these to?
1 to Maury and 1 to Lila.
Maury, as you look down, you remember how he looked straight after the battle, and he's the same. There is a pallidness to him, even through his translucent skin, as this Arenal elf race seems to be. The bluish and red veins, or red lines under the skin representing veins and arteries, visible, but even more so, it seems as though he's almost drying up. It's alarming to see, though he is sweating on his brow, and that's where Lila is over him trying to, and you can see a small blue nimbus around his body as she's still continuing to whisper to him in a magical song almost.
What's wrong with him?
She looks up, apparently a bit perturbed that you are asking questions, but she does speak. She says, I'm not sure. There is a powerful dark magic about him, and whatever they did to him in that place of undeath has caused him great pain. It's as though a life essence was trying to be brought away from him, and that is what I'm trying to restore. And at that point, you can hear Maury mumbling incoherently under his breath. And you can't really understand what he's saying.
The guards would have came past this area, yeah? Going to the zone. Have you heard of the commotion?
She nods and she says, I assume that you would have alerted someone by now. How's Captain Jerrol and his daughter?
Well, unfortunately, Captain Jerrol's daughter is in an alleyway a couple of blocks back. And...
Body, so she was too late to be saved?
She's in a state. She's dead, but I tried casting some magics on her and something fizzled out, something stopping me from being able to...
An external effect. That is also alarming. Perhaps should have brought it here so I can inspect it?
Well... there may be some concern about that after what Rin's uncovered about Captain Jerrol.
Is he become mad from grief?
Possibly, or we're not sure if he's him.
He seemed to have a distinct lack of grief. I mean, he was upset, but...
I'm not sure if you've come across grief before, but it has many faces. Shock, inward emotions, but I guess now is not the time to unravel if we don't have him here. Where's Rin?
Rin's at the keep.
Tailing him.
At least you're all fine. Kailani gives her back a nod.
I'm not sure if we should bring the body in here. It's not far, but
Should I go and see it?
can you maintain these wards here so Maury will be safe?
Yes, but the wards prevent anyone from outside coming in without me knowing about it. He's still in a state. He's still weak, and he still needs my magic to... I'm maintaining his strength, but I'm not improving it.
With help? Wait in the potion.
Unfortunately not. There aren't any physical wounds. It's something more of his essence. It's necromantic. That is what I've come across so far.
We were worried bringing the body here that it may cause more harm than good.
I'll trust your judgment on that. You're not a with the desecration of that rune. You're not someone to cross. You have power, and so your knowledge is as good as any. I trust in that, but we must do something. We can't just leave her in there.
Should one of us stay here and look after perhaps Kalani? You can look over him.
I can do that.
While we go back to the body.
Yeah, sure.
Sure, it won't be for long.
Yeah, we can track down whoever's taken it while we're gone.
Lila says, I've not rested since the battle, and that will mean that if I maintain this spell, I'm quite short on others.
Myself included, I'm quite spent.
But the night isn't done with us yet.
Alright, drink this. I handed the health potion.
She takes it. With her thanks. You do see some of her wounds start to heal.
Well, perhaps Saloon will bless us and look after us on the rest of this night.
May she do so, and her light. Shall we?
All right, let's head back.
All right. Kailani stays.
Thanks, Kalani.
And as Kailani sits with Maury, and you lead her back towards the body.
The body, yeah.
Okay. As you swiftly exit into the evening, the cold night, Rin, you are sneaking up more towards the door, and as you look, just peek beyond the threshold. We'll take a 10-minute break there.
Bam, bam.
And we'll see what Rin discovers after our 10-minute break. Hey, we lost a light, but that just gave us more ambience. So hope you're enjoying the moody lighting. We're going to be back in 10 minutes. Enjoy our Be Right Back video, and we're gonna continue after this break. We'll go for another couple of hours after that. We'll see how we go. See you soon. We're going to take the quickest 10-minute break.
Oh no! Roll the damage! I've waited this long!
So I'm rolling the damage and not budging at all, so let's see what happens.
Oh!
Wrong one, another round?
Oh, jeez. They're calling for a cliffhanger.
Well, he'll roll it. And then
Oh my god, stop rolling! Oh no.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see how much damage Amara gets after we come back from a 10-minute break.
I hate this game.
We'll see everybody in 10 minutes.
And I rolled a 20 to 25 for stealth check. 25.
Okay.
Oh, that's a bad laugh.
That's bad.
It's a bad laugh. That's a wheeze.
Is that a
That's
nat
an
20?
evil wheeze.
It's 18 for me.
Is that a nat 20?
So you all start walking
18.
down. I'm just gonna,
Hold on a second.
just gonna leave my hand like this for a moment.
Stop flexing your muscles.
The team is happy. It's all bad.
As Amara starts to race towards Rook, you have just been handed the potion. And you saw Amara then just disappear. As you turned to attempt to uncork it and hand it to her, say, the battle's over. And with that swift motion, you look down, and the twitching has stopped. And in front of you, smoke coming out of the body of Osei now still.
Do I see this?
Yeah.
Thorum! Thorum, help her!
I'm gonna walk on over and look down at her. How's she look? Is there any sign of life?
Make a medicine check.
How's she look? Dead.
That's a nat 1.
After the last question he asked, I pull into the rucksack from the back and present a cup. And I say to it, "This is King Boronel's personal possession."
After 53 sessions! The camera looks like he's gonna cry.
You may if you want.
Sorry, continue.
For anyone who doesn't know, it's taken 53 sessions for Ben to know how to say King Boronel. That is going on TikTok later.
I was clapping because you had components ready.
I'd be just trying to keep next to Rook, trying to grab his hand and
Mm-hmm.
just, hey,
Dench, I thought you were Osei?
I'll say something to you. Come here.
What is it?
Come here.
What happened?
You look really good right now.
Thank you. No one's ever really taken notice, but now's not the time, I think.
There's always a time for love.
Welcome back.
By far the weirdest way to start a stream. We should have called this ASMR cheese eating.
As you look upon this beast, wind buffer the red scales, blind every haze. The dragon attacks all around you. Birds fly away. Make your attack.
Oh yeah, he fucked up.
Charlie into to Rook and says, "Look, this is getting a bit corny."
Oh, dance again, quick!
It's Aaron Cochran. That's
I'm gonna. I'm gonna transform.
You got a massage it.
Puts the lotion on its skin.
We're lotioning.
Oh no! This is very uncomfortable. I'm glad I did.
Shake off the excess.
Shake it all off.
That was wonderful.
Very
I
moist.
have nightmares tonight. I'm not good with words. But I think When I think back to everything that I've done since like day one with these motherfuckers, like you were there always. And you were like the only one that actually listened to me for a really long time. So, duh. Of course I got like all feelsy and stuff. And then Dench came along. God. I was so jealous. So fucking jealous. I don't think it's fair to tell you how I feel if I don't get to stay. That would be cruel. But I think you know.
Well, Amara, I love you. And I will wear the cruelty because I think it is worth it. It's worth every moment we've had, and it is every memory.
Mara's just gonna be like, not of lava, but single tear. And she's just gonna be like, I love you too. I'm sorry I didn't say it.
It's Aaron Cochran does. Yeah.
Can you do that again?
I will not do that. It's that you're trying to bandage up gaping holes in his chest. And
I got you, buddy.
you kind of now realize that your initial investigation of his body reveals that his head is missing.
I thought I had him there, guys.
Tell us the things you're going to tell us.
Okay.
And maybe we'll let you live.
Yeah, if it's
Are you lying?
I'll actually laugh. Like in character.
Are your shoulders like that? Like,
It comes out exactly like that.
I don't know what they're gonna do.
You have feathers in your hand of this Pegasus.
Do we see the children?
Yes. Yes.
I'm going to try and catch the children.
All right. They're moving very quickly. So what's your flying speed?
My flying speed full is 60 feet.
Okay. 60 feet. Okay. They're falling a bit faster, but you can attempt to.
Is our first kill in the campaign 2 innocent children?
And as you get closer, you see lives. And this cage that it now looks like it is so packed with corpses, squished together. As you get a closer look, this symbol is depicting 2 companies or houses, but they are together. They're on the same bit of metal. They depict the house that your parents are working in. And they depict the symbol on the other side of House Tarot.
Oh, fuck you.
And we're gonna end that. And we're gonna end that tonight. And that's it. That's it, everybody. We're gonna take the quickest 10-minute break.
No! Roll the damage! I've waited this long!
All right, I'm rolling the damage and not fudging at all. So let's see what happens.
Oh!
One other round?
Welcome back, everyone. We are back and we are lit up again. Let's see how long that lasts. Otherwise, pink mood lighting for everyone to see. So, as we move back in to the scene, Rin, you sneak up to the doorway slowly and purposefully after hearing the shuffling of the furniture, without seeing Captain Jerrol for maybe a minute or so. As you turn your face around the corner, you notice him and his head within a noose. And he kicks a chair from underneath him.
What a terrible reaction from the players. Come on, guys.
And you see him now struggling.
Could be a deacon scout. I'll just observe him for a bit longer. I'm going to pull out the...
You're going to message me? I think he's doing something. He's summoning demons.
Well, I mean, my background, I've probably never seen anyone do this. I'd be like, I don't know what he's doing, guys. He's doing some demonic.
It's a ritual.
No, I would pull out the actual physical flick knife that I bought for this exact purpose.
Okay.
Well, not this exact purpose, but to actually have a physical knife to do this stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know what this will be good for.
I saw Ivor's eyes when I bought it.
As you,
and then
as you turn
I'll
the corner
go
quickly,
to try and cut him down.
Sure. As you turn the corner, he sees you at the same time as the chair is kicked from underneath him, and he holds. You can see him now. It's this large form, bandaged, but holding on from the roof by his neck, and you can see him just getting purple in his face instantly, and his tongue is lolling out, and he's struggling. As you cut the rope, he slams onto the ground in a heap with a and a cough, and he's coughing uncontrollably as he's half struggling to get back up. You can see that his sword had been laid on the table, which is now lying on the ground. The table was kicked away as well at the same time, and he pulls the rope away and he leaps towards you. He just, in one fluid motion like a soldier, goes from lying down to almost rolling back up and leaping out at you. Make an acrobatics check if you wanted to try and move out of the way in time.
I definitely do. All right. So this is going to be quite good. And in this motion, proximity to the desk where I saw him write the note, I'm assuming would be quite close.
Mm-hmm. It's only a couple of feet away.
Yeah. With a 24,
Yep.
would I have the ability to try and grab that note as well?
Sure, yes. So you leap backwards and grab the note behind you at the same time. You know exactly where it is. And even without looking, the note is in your hand by your side. Silently, he leapt at you and then just tried to use his arms to grapple you, and is now on the ground just without you there. And his face and chin dig into the wood, and he grunts. And as he does, he pulls the rope completely away from his neck and throws it away. And quickly, faster than you would have thought he could have moved in his state, moves and slams the door shut. And he's only a couple of feet away from you now, but his back is to the door of his office. And he looks at you with daggers in his eyes, and he says, "Give that to me. Leave, and let me die."
Well, I could definitely arrange one of those things if you don't calm the fuck down.
He throws a punch at you, and this is going to be an unarmed attack. That's cocked. Stop being cocked. Okay, that's better. That's a...
2 20s.
No, that's a 13 to hit.
That will miss.
That will miss. He swings wildly at you in this dim light. Now you easily see where this fist is going to go, and it passes through midair. And you just take a very short lean back as you feel the buffeted wind of his strike just pass through in front of you, and he goes off balance, and you see him on the other side, the side that doesn't have the wound. You can see that shoulder is just past you, and he rights himself again, half dazed at what he's just tried to do, and he just looks at you again. I said, "You will not leave here alive if you do not give that to me."
Can I throw a psychic knife, aiming for his leg?
Sure.
To cause, I don't know, pain in his leg?
Sure.
Oh, it still hits his brain.
That's a 22
That hits.
to hit.
Roll for your damage.
That is 10 points of
10
psychic
points.
damage. I guess specifically trying to make him think that a knife has
Yeah,
stabbed
sure.
him in the leg to
Correct.
immobilize him a bit. Or
Sure. As you watch, he cries out in pain as both his hands goes to just underneath his right knee, and he slams his knees into the ground in utter shock at that pain. And he looks down, and there's no wound, but he looks confused and still wincing.
I guess if it's movement and whatnot as well, can I try to get to the door if he's just slammed it, hoping it's not locked?
Sure. As you reach the door, it's unlocked.
Even if I need to use a bonus action dash, I'm going to try get out of the hallway.
Mhm.
Not fully bolt at this point, but get at least the 30 feet with that bonus action ready.
Mm-hmm.
I guess if I can trigger that as like the bonus action dash to get an extra 30 if he lunges at me again.
Mm-hmm.
But it'd be like, wait, who the fuck bandages a wound before they do that? What's your problem? Can't say ours in this accent very well.
Problem.
Yeah, well, probably don't have that in the action economy at the moment.
As you are a little ways away from him now, he doesn't lunge at you again. He looks down at this wound that isn't there, but he looks back towards you as you are a little ways away from the door now. And he just shakes his head, and you can see a tear or two starting to form up in his eyes again, welling in his eyes. And he doesn't reply. He just turns towards the desk, turns towards the window. And then he slowly gets up, and he leaps over the desk.
Bonus action. Throw another psychic knife at his other fucking leg to try and immobilize him.
And make an attack roll.
Points of damage. He's now dead.
Well, you got your wish, you dickhead. Probably not 10.
A 10 misses, and as that psychic knife attempts to cut him down, it's as though the knife skidded along the desk and just did not apparate. He leaps and crashes through the glass window without a sound, apart from the shattered glass. He falls out of sight.
What story is he on? I don't know that.
He's about he's on the second level, but these levels are quite high. He's about 50 feet high.
Look, I guess I'd be just think to Locke. Okay, I've got to get out of here very quickly. Where are you? And then I'll start just making a beeline to the door. If it was dark and there was no one around, I'm just not even going to try stealth and just quickly get out.
I looked at Ivor and my eyes go black. You fucked up, didn't you?
Me?
When my eyes are black, I'm talking to him.
Oh.
No, I actually did some pretty good stuff, but that he killed himself. I stole his note. I haven't read it yet.
What the fuck's going on?
It's what I say. What's happening?
By this stage, all three of you have made your way to the alleyway. You're at the foot of the alleyway looking in. Lila has been silent the whole time. You can see she has been distracted, most likely from the spell she's trying to still maintain over Maury.
Lila, maybe approach this chest with caution. I think perhaps that was Captain Jerrol.
What makes you say that?
Something in Rin's voice tells me something else happened. That surprised him even.
Huh.
And he's hustling his way here, I believe.
Are we more or less wanted than we were 15 minutes
considering our friend's ability to hide, hopefully just the same.
Okay.
Why did you stop thinking at me? I don't know where you are.
We're currently on our way to
Well, Lila, I uncover all the. Here she is. I open up the chest, lid of the chest.
Nothing is in the chest.
I told you. I told you this would happen.
The chest is open
Eyes
and
back, bro. I'm talking to somebody else.
inside inside the chest are clothes that were folded that are now unfolded, and the same clothes are in there, hers, but the body is not there. Lila looks confused at you both and says, "What is going on?"
Well, someone did steal her body.
Her dad's gonna be so pissed off when he finds out.
Well, give me a sec. Rin, what happened?
Should be like panting at this point because I'm sprinting. Okay, I'm running down that main street. I'm heading towards, I guess, Lila's. But yeah, I don't know. I followed him. He was just being all normal, and he bandaged his wound, and then I heard all this like rustling, and then he was hanging himself, and then I cut him down, and then we had a fight, and then I tried to stop him, but he jumped out the window.
Yeah, so you tell me all that.
Yeah, I don't know where to tell you that. That's going to be. Sounds like Rin had some good intentions that went terribly wrong. I think the captain of the guard's dead.
In a way, sort of resolves half of this, doesn't it?
Well, depending if who they want to lay the blame on. I look at Lily.
Lila.
I gotta fucking spell that right. Pardon my language. Lila. Well, I think I might be glad we didn't bring the body back then, but then now begs the question where she's gone.
To a better place.
Well, I doubt someone's rummaging through here to steal a body.
Did anyone see you place her here?
Well, not from our observations, no. Most people have been busy with what's going on with the guards and the warehouses.
Most likely one of the guards found her and is going to report it.
Ooh, we're only gone for moments, though. Is there, can investigate, see, is there any tracks or anything?
Make an investigation check.
I'm going cantrip myself. Man, these rolls. I don't know. 5.
Really, with your clerical ability as well? No, with your help as well.
Yeah, I rolled a 2 and a 1.
Wow. With that roll, as you look around, it's difficult because snowfall has started flaking down again. Cloud cover thinned and then reformed, only in the matter of maybe 10-15 minutes. And so, though light, it probably is what's covered up whatever tracks could have been there to take the body away.
Ivor, Lila, do you see anything?
Lila looks down. She'll make her own roll.
Investigation, you said?
Yes, and she turns and she shakes her head. I've damn snowfall.
Roll 1d4.
15.
Cantrip.
What's it called again?
Guidance.
Guidance.
Yeah, guidance. Come on, give full.
Nah. 17.
Plus another 2, was it? Looking around, you notice with a 17, you notice your own footprints going into the alleyway, and you see ever so slightly two pairs of footprints, 2 different sizes, side by side, moving away. From what it looks like these imprints are deep within the snow. So they did form, they are heavy-footed. Though one of them looks like boots, the other one looks like paws.
See anything?
Look at these tracks.
You want to see the tracks?
Yes, you do now.
Boots and paws.
After the
boots.
the medicine checks we made, would it be safe to say with the 27 I'd have an idea of like how big
her feet?
Yeah, and like
Her feet were bare feet.
Yeah.
And so they're not conducive of one of these pairs of footprints.
It'd be safe to say it's not obviously it's not the boots. Remember, she was in barefoot. If it's only the other two tracks, it must be the one was no. You said paws and boots. Right?
Paws and boots.
Well,
How big are these paws? Wait, do I...
Looking down, they look like they are. They are the size of what a tiger's or a lion's paw would be. They're large.
fuck mine. Sus on the lion paw.
Yeah. Like, do it look like a bipedal lion paw or like 4 of them?
If it was if it was a lion, it was on all fours, you would probably understand it to have more of these paw prints in the snow. It looks bipedal.
She's been crawling around on all fours.
Well,
You gonna follow the bull tracks?
are we? Why are we? To what end?
Find where this creature went to. Lila, what insight do you have?
And once we find... then what?
Lila shakes her head and she says, with nothing to go on, it would be difficult to locate any of these creatures. I have not seen the body. I have nothing of hers that might be familiar to me. I don't know her. That's going to be a difficult spell to cast. These footprints don't tell me much either. I have a spell similar to augury I can cast. You know of this, but this does not tell me about their location. If she was truly deceased, from what the footprints seem like, two people of some kind, two creatures have taken her. It would have been some feat to try and hide from you, I would assume. So they were stealthy.
Are the prints leading away deeper in the snow than the ones approaching? Maybe I can't tell with that roll. But
Sorry, are the
prints leading away
Yep.
deeper than the ones approaching?
They're only leading away.
Right.
Now, just before we continue, thank you so much for your raid as well, Crit and Miss.
Hey.
Amazing stuff.
Thanks.
Hello. You're super, super kind. As the usual, we are Fates Group. We stream every Tuesday at 6:45. This lovely bunch of people. And I'll also reiterate my apologies that you all are not in the onerous company of Emily, but she'll be here next week. So enjoy this evening's festivities. So, to your question, the prints seem like, I see what you mean. With that roll, you now understand that they are only leading away. There is no indication that these creatures had approached this casket, this rubbish bin. There's no evidence whatsoever to understand, and to your best effect, looking up, you see rooftops.
No marks on the walls, nothing like that.
That investigation that can be kept, as you look along the wall, you now see some claw marks in the wood. And you'd assume then that a creature has either climbed up or climbed down one of the walls of this home, one of the walls of these homes.
We were being followed the whole time. Look, I point up at these marks. There was something real creepy skittering along these rooftops watching us. Some kind of cat man.
It's just a cat, man.
Do.
Well, do we not want to find him? Or them?
Yeah. But There's a lot of people. There's a lot of reasons to follow someone. It might have just been. We are two people who aren't local to the city carrying a giant chest through the streets. It might have just been a regular robber.
I'll steal a dead body.
But you didn't know there was a dead body yet. But why would you steal it?
Exactly.
Once you found out. All right, let's go.
If anything, if it was a criminal and found a dead body in there, you'd be like, "Fuck, I don't want this."
All right, well, let's follow these tracks then, at least as far as we can.
Lila leads on.
Will Maury be fine the longer you're gone?
Lila, she gives a small shrug as she says, the further away I go from him, the weaker the magic to protect him and maintain his positive energy. There's a risk that should my concentration be broken from this, that he may become worse. Kailani there is a help, but she's there as a physical protection. I'm not sure of her magical ability. She said she didn't have much. I trust her to ward off any intruders, but I don't know about being able to help Maury.
Okay. Don't overextend yourself then. If you need to stop, then
I'll let you know.
all right.
At that point, you arrive at Lila's home. For you don't know, or were you directing Rin?
No, I'm pretty sure I just said we were going back to the body.
Which you don't know where they
and then
put
I
it.
asked like 5 times where you are, and you didn't answer me.
He would have gone past us, right?
Yeah. So to that effect, if you would have guided him to your position, that's fine. If you would have preferred to just meet them.
The Catman ran past.
But you would have.
Well, I'll let
directed.
you know. Like
Yeah.
we're going to be leaving my eyes go blank because I like looking at you. We're going towards. The body's been stolen out of the chest. We're going to be looking for it. Where are you at the moment, Rin? This is all in my mind too. You can't hear this.
You're just looking at me. No, you're just staring at me.
Would have been double dashing the whole
Yeah,
time,
cool.
so 90 feet
Yeah.
every 6 seconds
That's a lot.
towards the house. That was
Yeah.
where I knew they were generally heading.
Make a perception check then to see whether you seen them on the way.
9.
With your speed, yes, and the communication that you had with Rin, you do find where they are. They're starting to move away from you down an alleyway, and that's all you know. But you do see Lila with them, but not Kailani.
I guess I would like be sprinting and skittering through the snow,
Yeah.
and slide up to them.
Yeah, I mean you're double dashing, so you're not trying to make a
Turn down.
Yeah.
Kind of like.
Supposed to be at this point, I'm assuming panting heavily.
yeah.
And I'll just hold out the
No.
suicide note.
Are you handing it to me, or am I just reading it while you're?
Well, I'm handing it
Pretty
out
much.
while heavily panting. I can't read.
Read it aloud.
Are you okay? Do you want some water? I'll unhoist my water bottle and pass it to him.
Yeah,
If you take some.
just I guess take this time to recover while someone reads for me.
You can listen while we read. We should really hustle on this, just in case they get too far.
Yeah.
And I'll read it out. I actually don't want to read it out loud, too loud. Just gather up, and I'll read it in just like a room voice.
Okay,
I'm not shouting it out so everyone can hear it.
sure. Daughter, we will meet each other again. You promised me. I hope this promise was with love and devotion, and not some heinous power or evil behind it. You promised me. I love you. Koneth alau nueth. And as you read those last 3 words, I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
All of us or just him?
Just the reader.
15?
15?
Yeah.
All right. The words, those last three words, which you don't initially you didn't understand them, they become apparent to you as you hold your breath, as you feel your bones start to weaken, and you feel your eyes suddenly become black with spots, and you feel yourself dizzy as your knees almost give way, but you right yourself, your breath comes back in heaves, and you
Double dashed here.
and you look down.
You guys need to walk more.
You look down, and from the tips of your fingernails, you're bleeding.
That's not normal.
Not profusely, but some droplets of blood, and you feel your ear, and a bit of blood has come out of there as well, and your nose as well, but it's now congealed and stopped.
Do you need like some vitamin C? Do you need an orange or something?
An orange would actually be quite nice. I'm gonna kind of like rub my nose a bit. Is this similar to what we've seen to the guards? It just happens to be coincidental. It was more for the nose.
Yeah, it was more for the nose. At that point, as you also speak it, and you both watch as Lila, her eyes widen as she mutters a spell under her breath, and you feel power and a wind pick up as the piece of paper burns. And you just have to let it go because the pain of the heat is overwhelming, and it crumbles into ash and is picked up by the wind.
Can't catch it. Cast mending.
Hey, what the fuck? That,
Would that work?
that was evidence. Do you know what I had to go through to get that?
I'm assuming you want to explain something to us.
Lila just holds her head as though she has this pain in her forehead, and she says,
Does she look similar to me then?
She doesn't have any bleeding, but you can see that she's tired, more so than maintaining this concentration spell. And she says,
You felt that too?
I felt dark magic, yes.
Did you feel that?
It was meant to be a trap. Should the paper have continue to exist, it would have perhaps taken hold, and I did not want to risk that. I know it was evidence, but better that you live.
Perhaps then,
You
with
read that?
knowing what.
You read it out loud.
Yeah,
before it
you all
burned,
heard
right?
it. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it might be safe to say that both of them were evil. We're up to something.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying the whole time.
Why else would he evocate a curse on a suicide letter?
I'm not sure it was evocation. I'm not sure what it was. It was too quick to be cast. It was supposed to be like a striking viper, quick and painful.
The suicide note. I read that out loud. Read as a suicide note, yes.
Yeah, addressed to someone who's already dead. So.
And he would come back to life as well.
Yeah, it insinuated that they were going to meet again soon, and it didn't seem like your kind of meet again soon.
In another life, you mean?
Yeah.
In another, with the gods.
In which case, why would you put a curse on a letter?
To have no one else see it, or see it and live?
Or for his daughter to see it?
That is true. Why would you leave a note so Noah could read it?
Right. So.
Well, also, he did kind of send all the guards to that place. Are we going to be dealing with like an army of the dead in the next 10 minutes?
So they're both evil. They're both dead. Is this a happy ending?
Lila looks at you now, Rin, and says, "Did you see the body of Captain Jerrol as you escaped the keep?"
Well, no, he seemed at first all normal. He was bandaging himself up, but he wasn't really. It was all dark. He didn't light anything, and I know humans are terrible with their eyesight.
Did you inspect the wound? Did you inspect the body any at all?
Well, okay, I'll just do everything. I didn't have a chance. I was staying hidden, and I was observing him, and he bandaged himself up, and then he was like having a little bit of a cry, and I'm like, okay, well, this all tracks. And then I heard like rustling, and at first I was like, ooh, there's a hidden passageway behind the bookshelf. And then I went to poke my head in, and he was hanging himself. So I cut him down, and then he attacked me straight away. And he got real pissed off when I grabbed that note. But little does he know I don't know how to read, so I wouldn't have done anything. And then, he wanted to have a go at me again, so I threw a little mental knife at his leg, and I was trying to like calm him down, but then he went and jumped out the window now, didn't he?
Eat himself.
And I thought it was probably better that I get out of there instead of dicking around.
Did you look out the window?
Okay, how's your night going? What have you done that has been so successful that you can critique what I've been doing?
Fair enough.
Is it possible for me to...
I've been hearing, Luke's been telling me all about your escapades, burying women in trash in an attic and then losing them.
Yes.
It's pretty accurate.
That's what we did.
Lila interruption says, so he may not even be dead.
Well, that makes it even worse, and I probably did the right thing getting out of there.
Yeah, why stay and help?
Oh yeah, help.
Can I record those 3 words?
Yes.
Done saying what
Yes, and you can write these down if you want to. It was conth, CONTH, allow, ALAO.
Sorry,
LAO, and then nueth, NUETH. NUETH. Yep. Conth, allow, nueth.
Perhaps we should reassess then, if considering, and I'll look at our friend, how much we spent in the last not even 2 hours after coming back from that.
Lila says, I admit, when I had to dispel that magic, I lost concentration on Maury.
Perhaps we should head back to the house and take a short rest.
These tracks will be gone by tomorrow. I think we should at least see where they go to.
If we encounter them, I don't think we're prepared to have a fight.
Look, the whole point of doing all this was to save Maury.
Yeah.
I can go and recast that spell on Maury. I can be with Kailani if you want to investigate this. But if you need me, then we best go back to Maury first together and then come back. But then by the time we come back, those footprints maybe have disappeared. And she looks up and you can see that the snow continues to fall.
I'm also a little bit concerned that this keeps escalating from like a couple of brigands to like guards, and then now there's undead people coming out of the woodworks.
Yeah, how much do we care about this city? Do we just leave?
Yeah. Also, if you were, it seems like you threw him out the window and ran away, and the only evidence we had to the contrary was that letter. So maybe we should leave the entire city.
Well, I mean, I don't think anyone saw me. There didn't seem to be anyone at the keep.
We didn't think anyone saw us either when we hid that body.
What are we doing actually? I just kind of rocked up here and you were walking away.
I think Lila, you should head back to Maury. He's who we need to keep safe.
I'll do that now and see where these lead, and
then we'll press on with caution.
yes, I'll meet you back at the home. Keep safe. And she turns
strong.
and she nods and swiftly moves away from the scene, out of sight.
All right.
Keep following those tracks.
All right. You also notice when Ivor and Rook It's getting late.
You and your single
Lock.
syllable name.
I know you single syllable. I know it every time. Lock. Apologies.
Season
Your
one,
Lock. Your as Locke and Ivor point in that direction, you notice the two sets of footprints as well, fading fast, and you are guided by that towards the other side of the alleyway. As you reach it, are you doing anything in particular because you still see them?
Look, whether I could make a roll or if I notice them, I would notice that one's paws and one's boots. Given the size of the paws, how many toes? Does it have claws?
Mm-hmm.
Does it look like my footprints? Would I be familiar with other, I guess, bestial type races?
Make a nature check.
Do I see him looking like he's concentrating on something?
Yeah. Ren is looking down very intently.
Would survival be a possibility if it's
Yeah,
tracked?
sure. Tracking, yep, sure.
Tracks. And a D4.
I can see it on your forehead even though you got you get lines when you're rolling dice.
Yep. 25.
Yeah, jeez. It's a claw, yes, but it's a 5-toed claw. It's not like a 4-pawed lion, and the toes they're wide, but they're not as wide as a natural lion would be. You don't, but that's the most unusual part about it. Everything else is the unknown, because you don't know specifically what type of creature would produce such a footprint. You do, with that roll, find a couple of hairs. These hairs are orange, deep orange, like a large cat would have. Long and thick and bristle.
Do I notice in the snow any swishes of like a potential tail?
None.
And I guess with the boots, is there any remarkable marks in the footprint, like a tread mark? Is it like a kind of like a boot with a heel?
Oh, the boot.
Yeah, something that would at least give me something to go off. Should I?
The boot looks again heavy, large enough that's probably. It most likely is a boot of a male, most likely a human, though even then it would have to be a fairly heavy set, pair of feet. As you try and discover more, we have to do dad moves. Do a little dance. Thank you very much for that. Redeem.
Dad move.
What's a dad move? Oh yeah.
Cradling
Chicken wing.
the baby.
Cradling the baby. Do the one night.
Burping the baby.
Changing the light.
Looking up schools in my area.
Pretending you're excited about a 4th drill for Father's Day.
Oh.
Wow, look at these socks.
Look at the socks.
Calculating how much I have to save per year for the next 10 years to afford that.
10 years, like 20.
There we go. Okay. Enjoy that that beautiful dance. Thank you.
Yeah, it made me sad.
That wasn't a happy dance.
Sweet. No, like I don't know, like there's spur marks in the.
No spur marks. It looks like a otherwise. Take care. An otherwise normal pair of boots. The treads are thick, as though they are snow boots, most likely. So many treads in them, not as smooth. But they are fading fast, and that's all you get.
Sweet. I guess I would be assisting in tracking them.
Okay. It takes you out of the alleyway into another main street that heads more towards the warehouses.
And can I get a time check on that 4-hour thing from the start?
About an hour to go.
About an hour to go. I guess I would think to Kailani, kind of generally be updating her about what's been happening, but then also, Lila's on the way to you. Can you let us know when she gets there? It should be 10 minutes. Yeah, let us know if she doesn't turn up in that time.
The reply is, I'll let you know. And as you continue your way forward towards these tracks, they eventually disappear. They disappear in an alleyway that you're not sure where you are entirely, though you know you're facing the direction of the warehouses once more, and behind you is the center of town.
As in they just disappear completely?
They fade. They fade as though snowfall has caused them to.
And they've not gone up the walls or anything like that?
You can make another investigation check after another 15 minutes worth of tracking them. If you want to see whether there are any new scratch marks along the walls or any rooftop.
Guess I would be assisting him.
Yep.
That, like, I'd be sniffing out for, like, feline fur smell, like any orange.
Make your own perception check if you're doing that.
Investigation or perception?
Sorry, your investigation. It was both investigation.
Sweet.
15, so same as before.
Can I give him the help action and?
Yeah.
Um,
You're all doing it, so one of you can take advantage.
You have a crack.
Or, yep, individual roll.
Help me.
What did you get, Rin?
Good shout. I will use my
Okay.
psi-bolstered knack ability.
Great.
Which is 16... 18.
15. 15 again.
Same.
Double 15 makes 30.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I've looked there. So, as you as you both, or all three of you now, look along the walls, look along the rooftops, there's no sign of scratches, marks on the wall, no sign of disturbance along the house sides. To your best understanding, they've probably continued along this way if magic wasn't involved, and just the footprints have faded. In front of you is a street that has about 5 houses on each side remaining, and then a plaza of sorts between the plaza and then the wall, which takes you into the warehouse district.
Which is where we were before, right?
Yeah.
Is there any commotion coming from that area?
Having a listen with your investigation checks still in play, you hear a couple of sounds. There are sounds of a baby crying in the distance, trying to get to sleep most likely, the wind picking up again, and the snowfall becoming a little bit more pronounced, and that bringing cold towards you, a whistling wind. You don't hear shouts, you don't hear guards, you don't hear the sounds of fighting. From this distance, should all of the guards have been congregating around this area, you almost had hoped that there would be sounds of fighting.
I don't think this is something we can do on our own. Should we seek support from House Tarasco and
Go back the opposite direction? Yeah, good plan. Turn around 180 degrees and leave? Yes. That's the right and brave thing to do. Let's go.
I mean, it might be a bit of a blessing if we're all a little bit tired. Plus, if Layla's can get in contact with the 12, this might actually be something worthwhile bothering them with now.
yeah?
I don't know if it's a thing for the 12.
No, I don't know, like undead potential armies if the guards are getting turned, I don't know. Corpses that get up and walk away with a cat.
I bet you they just tell Layla to do something about it.
Oh yeah, again, the House Tarasco and House Deneth have the foothold here.
Well, I mean, they should probably know there's a lot of those Jarasco people in that corpse pile.
Yeah, there's quite a few actually.
Let's go get some sleep.
how far away was it's Durasco's the mercenary one.
No, Denise is mercenary. Durasco is healing.
Healing. The healing one is actually in the city, right?
No,
Durasco is outside.
Denise has holdings as mercenaries to help out the guard of Vedykar, and they had made camp outside of town.
Yes, that was Denise.
That was Denise. Yes.
Yeah, so
Durasco hadn't had. They weren't set up like Denise were. You just had just come about seeing a lot of people from House Durasco because that House of Healing predominantly are halflings, dwarves, and humans. And it just so happened that the Talenta Plains and the Moror Holds are east of here. So your understanding of that is House Durasco is just a bit more common in this part of Karnath because of the bordering of the other countries.
yeah, okay. Also, House Durasco was a house of healing. Perhaps they would have something to be able to counter the necromancy.
It's not my wheelhouse.
I mean, I did what I could with my little potion, but I don't know if I did good brewing it.
Should we split up?
That's. Yes, we should sleep and then split up.
If we sleep for 8 hours, the warehouses are just outside.
Yeah.
It's only half an hour walk or something.
Mm.
They're not getting any more undead.
Yeah, but by the time we wake up, they might be set upon us.
And then we'll have
Well, I mean,
ready to fight.
With half an hour sleep.
Kailani did set them on fire.
Yeah.
Can I see smoke or anything in the distance if we're approaching the warehouse area?
From your check that you did, you don't notice any smoke. No.
That is a little bit suspect.
All right, if it's too irresponsible to leave this place, we at least shouldn't split up. That doesn't seem like a good idea.
Yeah.
So lead on. Hopefully they have beds wherever we're going.
Well, where do you want to go first? Durasco or Dennis?
Which are the ones that heal?
Durasco.
Durasco.
What kind of healing are they? Are they like clerics?
You,
that heal?
you're aware of their services. They have generally speaking a Corvair-wide service of healing wounds. So they are a walking hospital, if you will. They have a presence in all major cities. They're very popular when it comes to their services, which they, like a mercenary guild, they ask for coin to maintain their guild, and they come from all walks of life, and they're not mercenaries against enemies. They are mostly pacifists, if your recollection is correct. They really are just like, they have major hospitals all over, and they are a house of healing. Anything specific you want to try and remember about them?
Yeah, are they... I'll pose it as a question to yourself. I'm trying to remember. Are they the type of healers like yourself who look skywards, or are they the kind who dance around a tree and draw from the power of the earth, or whatever you guys do?
I mean,
That's kind of more my people.
It's your people.
You recall that Vedykar does have a healing house of teaching, so that's probably another reason why House Durasco is popular here. They have almost like a university of healing, and it's more about less the gods and more magic that comes about from the earth.
Oh, okay. So, all right, they're not the... I was thinking if they were clerics of your sort, they'd be exactly who we need to fight the undead, but no, it sounds like they're wonderful as they are, more your type of healers.
shamanistic.
Yeah. So off to the mercenaries.
Yeah, perhaps a strong arm might be a better opportunity. The healers should be there for them as well.
Yeah. You'll be there.
Yes, with my one spell slot. Okay, so Denith it is.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we can go talk to that general, the big tough one, and her assistant who was ready to pin all those murders on at one point.
I'm just trying to remember the names.
Don't worry, they'll tell us when we get there.
David.
No, that was the ball bag man.
Venonia.
Yeah.
I got Laurie and Venonia.
Laurie was the assistant, the fast feet.
And then Venonia.
Yeah, Venonia.
Yeah, when we get there, just smile and say, I'm so glad to see you again. I've been looking for you. And then someone will say their name before you are required to.
All right, let's go.
Let's go.
All right. So you are heading towards House Denny's holdings again. You turn about and you start to make your way back. As you do, on the way, it's otherwise not a very exciting trip. There are people who, and these are mothers, grandmothers, fathers, partners. Every now and again you see one maybe look through a window or come outside of their doors in a heavy cloak and call out for a name to someone, asking for where they are. And as you get closer to where you first found or first hid the body, you come to understand that these are people who the guards had come out of, the houses that the guards had come out of. And these might just be their family members calling out to check in on them. As you continue your way back towards House Denise, you get there without bother, and you notice that there's a lot of activity here in almost midnight now that it's coming about. You see torches lit, you see dwarves, elves, humans, gnomes, halflings, all in that chimera emblemed leather and mail armor that seem to be forming something, or at least people are giving orders. You see this Captain Venonia is amongst them, and she seems to be the one that is pulling the shots. And you can hear shouts like, "Tend to Vedykar, they need our aid. Something is amiss in the night," and she's just trying to organize the mercenaries here.
All right. I mean, can we see her?
Yep, she's running from tent to tent.
Oh, just gesture to the others. We should probably go speak to her. Let's go find the captain.
All right, as you go into that direction, she's gone into one of the tents and she is having a chat to a pair of mercenaries from House Denny's, and she's giving them instructions on to check the keep because of the missing Captain Jerrol. And she's trying to come to understand with them over what looks to be a desk with a map of Vedykar where the last sighting was. She doesn't notice as you enter.
Captain Venonia?
She turns. I'm sorry. I would like to. I'd like to take time, but I'm quite busy at the moment. Unless you have news.
Well, we might have a first-hand account. Do we overhear her talking about the captain?
Yep.
Can I still speak in your head?
Yes.
Yep.
Do we want to tell her what's going on? My eyes go black.
There are people here to look at.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, that we got to trust someone at some point to do something about it.
Captain Venonia, we might actually have a lot more information on what's actually happening here, if I'm assuming correctly.
She stops what she's doing, looking at the map. She turns towards you. Her hands are then leaning back on this desk. Oh, very well, spit it out.
Well, firstly, why are you assembling the mercenaries?
Because I've tried to, for the last half an hour or so, get in contact with any authority in Vedykar to no success. And so I'm trying to keep my guards or my mercenaries safe, but also alert. And if there's anything that we can do to protect ourselves, we will.
Is there anything that you can do to protect the city?
That is also what I'm trying to do. In pairs and in threes, they are scouring the city for anyone who's able to protect it.
Well, I can tell you where all the guards are, and my friend Rin can probably tell you what happened to the captain.
She looks expectantly.
Well, I guess first and most importantly, you got to enter this. You're not like secretly evil or dead, are you?
As he's doing that, I'm going to prepare a couple of things as evidence.
And what would you like to prepare?
I'm going to get the book out and write down the words that I got from the letter.
Mm-hmm. As you are writing something in the book, and she's half looking toward you to see what you were doing and looks a bit confused at you, Rin. No, I'm captain of this battalion here, and I'm here on behalf of House Denneath. I'm simply trying to run a mercenary guild here. I'm assuming you have your suspicions for a good reason, but to accuse is not something I take lightly.
It's not accusing, and then I'll give her a sniff to see if she smells like rotten flesh.
All she smells of is sweat.
Yeah, right, that tracks. Well, it's been a bit of an eventful, day and a bit since we set off to find out who murdered your compatriot in the stockade. Turns out the captain of the guard is evil as hell. His daughter probably even more evil than that. I don't know, she may be the Lady of Lips. Have you ever heard of that? I'm dumping a lot on you right now, I know.
Lady of Lips. That is a title that I've heard of, yes. Not here, though.
Where have you heard it?
Back in Korth, before setting out here.
Yeah, well, we heard that they have ties to that place, as well as some place called Fort Bones.
I've not known about a Fort Bones. I know of the place, but there's a keep of some sort that guards Carnath from raids from the Tillinter Plains. If you say that there's a connection, sure, I'll take that into account.
Okay, so it all started trying to find out who stabbed your friend in the nose with the needle.
Yes, I heard that all the guards had been killed, yes.
Yes, so there was that. The tavern got burnt down.
Yes.
People tried to kill us there.
Sent my own investigators there, and we found very little.
And do you remember those two walking ball bags that kind of talked to us here, and then we set off together?
I don't know why you call them ball bags, but sure, the ones who wanted...
their ball bag behavior.
Were they somehow involved with this?
Well, do you remember... Saying ours is hard. Do you remember our elf friend?
Yes.
Yeah, well, those two ball bag people, they took him, and then we had to do things trying to find him. We ended up tracking down some brigands, and they had a note on them from Captain Jerrol, and it had the symbol of the Lady of Lips on it.
I see. So he is part of that, whatever that is.
Yes, well...
and you're saying now he's where?
Yeah, well, we'll get to that. It's a bit of a doozy. But, so we took...
Straightforward, really.
we took out the brigands, and then that led us back to him, and then he had this whole sob story about how these people had infiltrated the guards, and then they were holding his daughter captive.
You're saying the guards of Vedykar are the traitors?
Well, according to him, some of them.
More problems on my plate, very well.
Yes, but then we ended up scouting her out, and it seemed all legit. And then we ended up at the warehouse district, and there was one abandoned one. Fuck this accent. And inside there's a little bit of evil going on, because we also were tracking our elf friend. Let's say, 50, you would say, corpses, maybe more?
Yes, there's quite a few...
It's not a little bit of evil, that is hideous.
Oh yes, well I'm playing it down for the whole comedic purpose of we've been through some shit, and I'd probably break down if I took it too seriously.
To keep our sanity intact.
Oh, by ball bag he means scrotum.
Thank you for the thank you for that clarification. I kind of alluded to that.
Yeah, so at this place there was something like necromantic shit going on where the corpses started coming to life.
I'll push forward the picture of.
That looks disgusting. Thank you for letting me know.
We're not done yet.
Well, just before you do, she gives quick instruction to the couple of guards or mercenaries of House Denise who are listening in, and she goes around this desk, opens up a drawer, and takes out what looks to be small necklaces. And there's a good 20 of them, and she hands them to these guards, and she says, yes, hand these out to the corporals and let them know about the warehouses, potential undead were incarnate. How was I not surprised? And see to it, and they just leave.
You nearly said corpses instead of corporal, didn't you?
I'm a little confused right now. Yes.
I would have killed
Is there any
her.
wine or anything on this?
Is it what?
Is there any wine or anything on this?
There is actually some cups set out with some red. Okay, she ignores it. It's from a beautiful crystal flask, and you pour it and drink it. It's quite nice, quite sweet. And she continues, or you continue actually, Ren. As she continues to listen.
Yeah, so the corpses there, they came to life. We rescued our elf friend. I'd rather keep his location a little bit on the down low at the moment because I don't know who to trust around here.
I respect that.
But we tried to burn that place down as we left, but I didn't see any smoke coming from there.
Not recently, anyway.
So it wasn't successful, or has the fire been put out?
Well, that is to be determined. But
should we approach this warehouse?
Well, just let me get to that. All right, there's more. So we went to try and save the daughter of the guy because we thought, that's all legit. But we get there, and he's walking around with her dead body in the house, acting all sus as hell. But these guys didn't really see it. But then I walked around the house, and I'm like, "There's no furniture here. That's a bit weird." And I was like talking in their heads the whole time. And I
have magics.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm pretty sweet. But then. Then I followed him all the way to the keep, and he was like telling all the guards to go to that warehouse. And now I'm a little bit worried that there's like an army of undead Vedykar guards running around the place. So that your guys might bump into. And I don't know. That's speculation at this point. I sometimes get things wrong, but tonight I've been pretty spot on.
He's been pretty good.
2s and 3s might not be the way to do it.
Now I'm quite understanding of that. And she calls out, and she brings another fully dressed House Denith representative in, and she reneges on the 2s and 3s and orders for their entire detachment to be in one, and but not to move, to wait in this area.
It's probably imperative that you know that mark that I showed you should be sanctified or destroyed as quick as possible.
I gathered that by looking at it, yes.
That's what's causing the undead to come alive, at least in our situation.
Why in the hells would you then write it down?
Well, for research. At least you know what to look for now.
She gives you this more unusual look, and she's make a perception check.
24.
You hear a mutter under her breath. She tries to hide it with a mumble, but you clearly make out the words, not the tiefling way again. And
She
she
went all
finishes with, they're all the same.
Um,
And she continues, she says, I am quite
I'm sure
perturbed
you'd be
by
happy when this turns out to save people's lives. No,
the rune of evil.
well, it's got to be marked somewhere
Why?
for understanding.
Is that like hyperbole rune of evil, or is that the actual name of this thing?
I have no idea, but it sickened me to look upon it.
Well, rune of evil it is now. That's a good name.
I don't know what it means, but I wouldn't use it as research. I'd destroy any evidence that ever existed.
What were those necklaces you gave out?
They are to help protect against certain magics,
How do you think wards work?
exactly how the necklaces work.
So those glyphs,
Yes?
how do you think they're counteracted? You need to know what to use and write against. If you don't understand that, then you're not going to have the right magics.
You're telling me that it's not as though I would take the venom of a snake and then make some sort of antidote from it.
It's actually quite similar.
Yes. You, as a child, you eat the venom, little bits at a time, over a long, long period of time, until eventually, when the snake bites you, it dies. That's the dwarven way.
I heard that was the Chuck Norris way.
Yeah, but he didn't have to dose up. He just how he is.
She genuinely laughs at that, and she, in utter confusion, says, "I'm not a magic user, and I've simply purchased these to protect my crew. So I can only assume that you are correct, unless you are in league with these evil necrotic folk. You're here though,
Exactly why we came here. Exactly why we came here.
because you're in league with them."
Yes.
She gives you a half look and reaches for a weapon by her side, and she says,
Sarcasm.
Jesus Christ, just calm down. You think we'd be here spilling the beans?
Did you get to the bit?
No, I haven't gotten to the end bit yet.
"Get to the bit.
Oh, well, I would if I stopped getting interrupted.
Tell your friend this."
So, where were we? Oh, yes. So, he sent all the guards over to that warehouse that didn't seem like it was actually burning. And then I followed him to the keep. And at first, he seemed like he was all being normal. Oh, by the way, he tried to get us to take his daughter's dead body to the elf that we saved. And I was like, no, don't do that. And then I had to convince these two. But then apparently, if God says it, it's all good. But if Rin says it, it's not all good. But anyway, I followed him. And then he was writing something down, and then he ended up trying to, I guess, end himself. But I stopped it because I was like, oh, he's just sad because his daughter's dead. And then he attacked me. So what was I supposed to do? So I threw a psychic knife at his leg and grabbed his note that he wrote. And then he's like coming at me, and I'm like, mate, what are you doing? It's not over yet. And then he jumped out the window. But then when I took his note, because I can't read, it's going to be a bit of a problem with this. Keeps coming up. I might have to learn. But then I took the note to them. And then what the note actually was like, hey, if you read this, you will die horribly. And then a friend of ours kind of stopped that from happening. Like, look at his hands. He looks like he's got a zinc deficiency.
I look at my own hands.
And then, so they finally listened and didn't take the dead daughter's body back to the elf, which I was like, oh, there's something sus going on there because of the whole corpse pile and whatnot. And then they went back to find her, and then, lo and behold, the dead body's disappeared, and there's a cat person with orange hair and some other boots walking away from the scene. And then we kind of tracked him back to the warehouse district before we lost the track. And we're like, what do? We'll tell that big tough lady what's going on, and hopefully they're not evil. And now that's what's happening now here.
We stashed her in an alley in the interim. That's where she got stolen.
Well, got up probably and walked away.
So that's kind of as best as I can recollect the unfettered truth.
Yeah.
Didn't even think of that.
I think the goal was to get to Mori.
Huh. Well, good thing we were there to do what we did.
It's quite a tale, quite a story. And your next move?
Sleep
to come here and rally your guard to come protect the city.
Well, that is what our intention is, more for the lack of understanding rather than the dangers that you've simply presented in front of me. I think we may be ill prepared, but knowing that danger that follows, I have a good 300 under my, not 350 under my command. That's not enough for a city, but it'll have to do.
Are there no clerics anywhere in this city
Well,
that specialize in the undead?
undead. Necromancers of that sort were outlawed quite a number of years ago because of the ban of practice.
But what about the ones that are like the opposite of a necromancer?
Divine magics. I don't know of any here. They're not the most common folk. Then there wouldn't be someone you would see in every corner.
You know, 60 years ago, there used to be a lot more of them wandering about the place.
Okay, that helps us greatly. So I will see to these House Denny guards, but know that they are mercenaries. They're not like they don't hold Carneth as loyal as the guards do. Do you think we should head towards the warehouse and confront whatever is there?
Well, I don't know. It's kind of beyond my pay grade. Speaking of which, by the way, we kind of did figure out that I forget her name now, but the lady in the stockades was probably killed by the Lady of Lips's assassin crew. So I believe we were owed some payment.
You could fit into House Dennyth in a second. And
That's
she...
a bonus for all the other work we did for you as well.
Such as? What, all the...
Have you not got ears either?
Oh,
Do I need
you
to
did that
recap again?
You did that for us, did you? For me?
Well, we did it for the city.
No, but we came here and told you.
Yeah.
We did that for you.
If I stand correct, I walked into this tent and you were confused.
I was confused by your presence, yes. Now it's becoming a little clearer.
I guarantee you, I wanted to leave the city.
Well, don't sell yourself short. House Denny doesn't have any loyalties here either, apart from coin. But yes, you gave me information where you could have run. And that does seem like...
The house beneath, if they're just left here for a city to burn.
We are a dragon-marked house. We are here for payment. We're not here to keep a city from burning.
Do you think somebody would want to hire you if you just walked out?
Right now, no one has hired us to save the city.
That's right, reputation can sometimes be better than coin.
Well, stout of heart. Of course it can. Maybe when this is all over, you can tell me if that is the case, if I should have laid down half my men's lives for the loyalty that they don't have for Vedykar. Let's see. And she goes into her drawer, takes out a few bags of what look to be heavily laden coins, and she puts them on the table and she says, "There you are, I kept these for you, and I already have a bonus in them as well for each. Enjoy."
What race is she?
She's human.
Just leave the coin next to the wine.
How much is in there? I pull it out and count it in front of me.
There's 150 gold pieces a piece, plus the bonus, which sorry, no, she's half elf. Apologies, she's half elf. And plus the bonus is a small sapphire each. So the half elf, Venonia, watches you count the coin, and she says, "I hope that will suffice."
And don't forget, we'll be back for that table.
Ah, the table, of course. Your elf friend was particularly interested in it.
And I'll think to look, it'll be a good recovery, We hope you get well soon, Gift.
Yeah, we can wrap it up. It leaves.
So I guess you need House Denny's help. What are your loyalties to the city? Why don't you just leave? You said you were going to, or you would if you had the choice. Ivor, wasn't it?
Yes,
So why are you staying?
because my companions are staying.
This quaint little city holds some import, perhaps.
Oh God, no. If this was just me, I'd run around the lot of you. I'd say any last letters that you want to send out, and then off I go. I'll take them.
Well, I'm glad of some honesty.
Wait, why are you staying to fight?
Well, we've been here for some time, and though we haven't been tasked to save the city, I'm sure, should our names be, or the name of House Denny be shouted through Corvair for saving Vedykar, there would be plentiful reward, perhaps a promotion for me. So there is incentive. I take it you three will, and plus your companion who you were with, will make sure you remember my name for this.
Yeah, she's with the 12, one of our companions.
With the 12?
Yeah, apprentice to them or some such thing.
Not of them. They have a vast network. I'm sure she's not of that
Well,
importance.
she's of them enough that one time we got her to ask one of them a question and she was able to do it direct.
Directly to one of the 12?
Yeah.
I doubt that very much.
Well, fuck me. Anyway, can we sleep somewhere?
And I can make beds for you, of course, should you want to rest before investigating this further. Very well.
How
Is
far is our house?
Lila's home?
Yeah.
It's about a 20-minute walk.
I prefer to head back there.
Yeah, maybe we should head back.
Whereabouts would the House Jarasco people be? Like someone who's maybe higher up or something.
The teaching hospital is a little ways away, but I can point it on the map. That's where you'll find most of their people. Is there any particular reason you need them?
Oh well,
To heal, obviously. I'm stupid. I'm just I've got a lot on my mind at the moment. You'll find them near the Citadel. They are just to the south of them, south of the Citadel.
if you're going to be attending to this whole like death cult thing, whatever it is, you might want to sort out their help as well.
I've already sent messages there, but thank you.
So we'll meet you men fully assembled where?
Here would be ideal.
In the morning?
Please. If that's when you'd like to strike, that's when we'll be ready. We're nothing if not disciplined.
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully we can get a bit more information before then.
Right, let's head back to...
Overnight I will try some reconnaissance and try and see about these warehouses to see where these guards are.
Also, just for like shits and giggles and because we're kind of like good friends now, do you have any spare coats? It's getting fucking cold out here.
I have some, yes. She produces them from a cupboard in this tent. They're a bit oversized, but they suit quite well. They have beautiful woolen inlay, really very snug, and almost a layer within that would cut, that would repel wind.
Is it normally this cold around here?
It certainly can be this cold, yes.
Oh, Lord.
Vedykar is not surrounded by forests or anything like that. It's mostly plains around, so wind can buffet the town quite severely. It's not unusual.
Oh, that's good. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, is there like weather death people as well?
What?
Well, I don't know this area. It was like stunning when I got here 2 days ago.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that is weird. Yeah.
Oh, we'll need House Lyranda to help us with anything weather-related, any anomaly, but I should get some rest as well if you feel like the morning is the best time.
All right. Well, hopefully we're not overrun by corpses in the middle of the night.
Ideally not. But I've got guards as well out and ready to call if need be. Sleep well. I think we'll all need it.
All right. Well, hopefully we were somewhat helpful.
The information you provided was very helpful, which is why the extra bonus was given. And we thank you because it could save lives.
You thank all of us?
She tosses another bag and says, "Your companion, give her that."
I'll grab it. I heard what she said.
Heard what I said?
The tiefling thing.
She immediately, her eyes divert to the ground and she sighs. Yes. When someone presents to me an evil rune, I become suspicious. And I'm aware, with my elven heritage and my years living, what tieflings did and what tieflings still do.
You said she looked human, right?
Sorry, no, she was half elf.
Half elf. Okay.
Half human, half elf.
What did they do? Did I miss something?
She looks at you expectantly.
You're the one telling the story. What did we do? I'm interested. What did we all do?
Well, tieflings are half demon, and not a small amount of them before, during, and after the war 80 years before sided with great demons, great lords of the hells, to try and usurp and take over Corvair. Stories are abound, and some say, were it not for the tieflings being on this plane of existence, opening up portals, perhaps stowing fear and their own evils, perhaps Corvair would have been a lot safer. And so someone coming through with a rune of magic like this to churn the stomach is not a welcome invitation to innocence.
She got an upset tummy, so she got a bit sad about it.
Well, I mean, forgive me because I'm a bit ignorant to like the wider world, but you're like half human, half elf,
Yes.
and like I don't know, did they do anything fucked up over the last couple of centuries at any point?
Not that I'm aware of, apart from nothing, as you say, fucked up. They aided in the liberation of Sire, or Mornland as it was called. But apart from that, no. There's nothing, no stories, no tales of woe.
Am I?
What? Every single house.
Elf,
Oh.
that is.
Am
He's
I-
talking about the elves.
DM question. Am I remembering correctly that they did attack the capital there?
You can make a history check to see if you remember that.
Can't trust myself. Brain. History?
Mm-hmm.
21 to 25. 25.
The stories that you have seen written since then do display out the reasoning behind the elven attack, and that was more to the point of being controlled. The text
Valandir elves, wasn't it?
Valinor elves.
yeah.
Yes, the elves of Valinor, correct. They, in terms of the writing that you've read, this is just what's been displayed in text from historians, that specifically says that they were, the specific elves that were sieging Shan, you were talking about? Yeah, they seem to have been controlled by an unknown force.
I'll still say it. It wasn't like the Valandir elves assaulted the city.
You're speaking of Shan. I'm not sure of that story. But I know
Seems a bit bit good for you. They just don't know it.
I'm not saying that all elves are good, Locke. I'm simply saying that more recently, and even over the last couple of years, there are still pockets of tieflings attempting evil magics around the forbidden areas of where demons spewed forth in Sire, once called Mournland. They still are trying to bring back this behemoth, these unnamed demon lords, and that doesn't sit well, and so I apologize. I shouldn't have mumbled under my breath. I know tiefling ears can be as keen as elvish, but I'm simply on edge.
It's okay. You don't have to justify yourself to me.
But I'll justify him to you. I don't know many tieflings, but this guy's put himself in danger a few times, and I've only known him a couple of days to help out other people. Now, you're also half human, and I've seen a few humans who are maybe part of a death cult here. Does that mean all humans do it?
What? I feel terrible. What was the name of this house again?
House Denise.
House Denise,
Yeah. She responds by saying, I know humans are much more emotionally charged and more easily afflicted by temptation. And so, yes, you are in fact correct. Again, apologies to you and your folk. Not all of you are evil, and I only assumed you showed me this as evidence, not as a form of threat.
Awesome. Thank you, Ren. I'll speak to you in your mind for that.
And I'll think about a sweet fist bump in your mind. That's in the mind. You just hear it.
I'll just nod at her. I'll leave it at that.
Should you want, again, I can provide beds for you here, though they may not be as comfortable as where you are staying here.
No, I think we need to go check up on somebody. But let's hope that's just a little blip in an otherwise healthy relationship. We got dead people to worry about. Let's not fight amongst the living.
It may do some good if we could have some guards just outside of...
in your head, I'll be like, just maybe the less people that know about it.
Yeah.
If they can infiltrate the Vedykar guards, maybe they can infiltrate Dragonborn house as well.
I wasn't thinking about outside the house, just in the proxy of that road there. So if anything comes down that way,
Oh, yeah,
we
okay.
might know first.
Yeah, good call. I'll shut up.
And I did have a map of Vedykar?
Yes.
City? I'll pull it out and just mark. I would know where the house is.
Yep.
Yeah?
Yep.
I'm not going to mark just along that road that would
Sure.
lead up.
He's going to draw a line down that road.
Yeah, just like an X there. Just like
Yep.
have some guarding there.
Okay.
To protect the city of Aurelius.
Yep. So she agrees, and she'll assign 5 members of House Denise.
All right, let's head back.
All right. Overnight, you have.
Thank you for the coats.
She requests that you keep them as extra gifts from the house, and you can see as she's bidding you farewell on the back of her hand and up her right arm, you can see a fairly intricate tattoo that's shimmering purple and silver that relates to the Dragon Mark houses. Not a tattoo that you see often, or you don't see these tattoos often, but this one is more displayed than others, which are more hidden. It could just simply be the size of the tattoo, which it stands out to you, but it does have that magic to it as a high-ranking member of House Denise. You make your leave at that point as you notice this.
What was the gem we got?
A small sapphire.
Small sapphire.
Yep. As you leave, you feel the cold biting you a lot less. The coats around you providing warmth, comfort, and a rejection of the wind. As you see snow fall even more, you walk towards your home, and you, without any sort of hindrance, make it there. Though the movement was slower, the snow thicker and falling fast. It took you a little while to move through that wind, which was against you, but you find it there unscathed. And you are let in by Lila again. She is there. Kailani seems to have, from what Lila has mentioned, gone up to bed.
I'll take the coat off and I don't hang it on something.
Okay.
How are you faring here?
Lila almost looks relieved, less tired, but she says, exhausted, but thankfully I was able to recreate the spell quickly, and Mori is no worse off. I wasn't far.
What is it that you're doing at the moment?
It's an intricate combination of spells relating to abjuration, predominantly protecting, but also divination, trying to understand the soul. Not an easy spell to cast in a bid. I am a beginner in this way. A combination of spells weaving over him to try and reform his spirit. It's more divine than arcane, and therefore I am struggling a little. This is where, I must admit, I have informed the administration of the 12. Not the 12, but some of my teachers have been made aware of the happenings here, and they are on their way.
Is this something, you've been at this at some time, is this something you could teach myself and maybe even Ivor?
Potentially.
Divination, I could have that covered. The abjuration part might be a bit more difficult for me.
I could teach each of you one half of the spell each, so that together you may be able to cast it at the same time, though it would require both of your concentrations to come together to admit. But should it then come to pass, it is a powerful spell. You can essentially keep a person alive that is on the brink for some time, and then prevent all outside influence from overtaking its form.
So you can take a break as well?
Well, it would take a little longer than that for me to teach you. I apologize. I'd have to break the spell now to teach you, and I don't want to do that.
Okay.
But rest assured, should I live through this concentration and this exhaustion and lack of sleep, I'd certainly be happy to.
Perfect.
All right.
Get some rest. I'm happy to stay up.
And
The wards are re-established.
I'm also going to grab some sleep.
Okay. All right. Ren, are you doing anything in particular?
Do you want some stew?
I should probably eat. We don't do that enough.
Yeah. There's still stew on the stove, is there?
There is still food for you, yes.
I'll have some bed stew. That's how much stew there is.
Yeah. All right. Yes, I could use some food.
Okay.
And sleep.
As usual, thanks to Lila, there is food prepared, still fresh, hearty and warm. Even in this home where the bite of that cold outside has been stifled, it is still chilly here. There are still cracks in the wood where that whistling wind just barely is audible, though the stew does and the food does help. As you change your clothes and go into bed, you rest. And overnight, once again, you all wake up just briefly to see the shimmer of purple and silver protecting the home. And welcome Katsinuk with your raiding party of 12.
Bye.
Hello. Damn. Hello, welcome everyone. Thank you very much for rating us. That's super, super kind of you. We are Fate's Grip. We stream every Tuesday at 6:45. How was your stream? Thank you. How was your stream? What did you do? Tell us. We are in the middle of, almost to the end actually, of our evening of D&D on our 7th episode. As the party rests in Vedykar, anyone who is watching might know Corvair. That is where our campaign our third campaign is set. And next week, hopefully, we'll have Emily here for everyone to enjoy too. So, enjoy the last little bit. You all watch in your moment of being awake. On the ground floor, mind you, you notice that Lila, the mage of, well, a mage of Corvair, is still deep in thought and in concentration to keep Maury with you. Not on the brink of death, but perhaps of mind. You see him pallid and still a little worse for wear, though in that moment of being awake, there's a wash of relief over you, it seems, as you do see him breathing more normally. And that relief puts you at ease, and you rest overnight again. As you wake, after a full night of rest, full hit points back, full spell slots back, chance of Senna, I will introduce maths. Okay, I won't be very good at it then, but I'll check it out. Thank you, Katsu. That's cool. As you all awaken, the first thing you notice about this new dawn is that it is dawn. It's a clear sky. It seems as though the snow and the cloud cover seem to only come at night, because a clear day greets you, a sunlight, and that extra bit of warmth that the night full of wind and snow didn't give off. The bite is not there anymore. The smell of breakfast cooks, as though Lila took a pause from the relief of Maury, who now is sitting up by himself. And he looks like he's eating a little bit of breakfast as well, and drinking a hot brew of something, a tea of some sort that's been concocted. And you see him smile at you with a skin that is no longer sweating. Kailani is also eating at the table, silently looking over, though a content look upon her face. And you notice that through the window of Vedykar, into Vedykar, there are guards. Guards of Vedykar, in 2s and 3s, patrolling. In between them, throngs of other people with wagons and fruits, starting their day. Lila is resting. She's in fact sleeping. You can see that she's laying down, her back to you, her back up against the wall. Sorry, her front up against the wall, her back to you, breathing deeply. And she seems to be snoring. Maury says, good morning. It is very good to see you with clear eyes.
It's good to see you up.
It's been a fevered dream. If you have time this morning, I'm happy to tell you about it.
We definitely need to hear about it, but it's good to see you a lot more lucid.
And I'm also very relieved. Lila has done some great work in the evening. She's told me she needed a rest, and well deserved, I take it. We shouldn't wake her. That's why my voice is a little calmer.
Well, if it helps with your healing, we may have secured your table, pending pickup.
He laughs a little at that and says, "You really are magicians. You really are quite, quite resourceful. How did you manage that? Another story, I'm sure.
It's been quite the day and a half. I'm sure you've experienced a lot too, but
Perhaps you should share with us first. And
I'll share my fevered dreams. I'll share my experiences, yes.
there's still probably a little bit more that needs to be done before.
Well, let us do this. I'm with you. Let us plan. And even in the short time I've been here, it's been an adventure, and I wouldn't miss it if you'll have me.
Of course we will. But you're going to be okay. You've only just gotten back up on your feet.
I'll see how I go. I am
Do you remember what happened to you?
not particularly. You might need to fill some blanks, but I may be able to shed some light as to my capture as well.
well, that's the last time we saw you was as we approached the tavern that was getting burnt down.
Correct. I have much to share. I remember quite a bit, so let's eat, and over the table of breakfast, let's speak quickly, and then we will formulate a plan.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good.
Okay. And he struggles a little to get up off his chair, but he does, without aid. And as you all stretch and form a group around the table, you start to hear of Maurie's capture and the betrayal that was up until this moment and what he remembers. And that story will unfold next week. Because that is all the time we have for the evening, everybody. Well done, you all. Excellent work. Amazing. Very, very well done. Everyone who watched this evening, thank you so much for joining us and staying on if you enjoyed it. We are here every Tuesday evening like we are now. We generally stream until about 10:30 as well because, you know, we live lives and we all have work and stuff. So, but hope you enjoyed it.
Cast feign death.
Correct. Look, like everyone else, we will also raid. I've got this going on. They look pretty cool. I'm going to, where are they?
Thank you so much for everyone who stayed as well. There's a lot of raids tonight.
Yeah.
Appreciate all that.
Super, super kind of you. Absolutely. Let's have a look again. Just want to double check. Don't go anywhere, everyone. If you want to, I'll do another D&D stream. Let's have a look. Let's see who we've got. That's interesting. Why doesn't that show up? Let's have a look. That's okay. If they're not coming up, that's all good. I'm going to go with this one instead. There it is. A Pangenda muffin is who I'll raid. So everybody, don't go anywhere. Stay and say hi to a Pangenda muffin. They're doing some D&D. It looks like a map of some sort there. So hope you enjoyed what you heard, and we'll hopefully see a lot of you next week as well. For now, have a safe and wonderful evening and week. Take care.